Is with Marks on 97.5, The Fanatic. That was abrupt. On Midday Marks. Say good morning to everybody out there listening live on 97.5 FM WPEN. Good morning, everybody. Listening on the Fanatic app, as thousands of people do every single day. We have the data. I see it. Thanks for listening on the Fanatic app. If you're listening later on, podcast form, thank you very much. Good morning to everybody watching live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. As we say, good morning to producing the show today is not Ray Dunn. Patricia Caputo behind the glass today. Hi, Trish.
Hi, happy to be here.
Good morning, as we say on a Tuesday, which will now be called Ray Gay Tuesday. Mr. Ray Dunn. Good morning, Raymond.
Good morning, Johnny. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fantastic.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
I'm just fantastic. Dave Dombrowski speaking to the media about JT Realmuto. We will bring that to you, the best of version, coming up at 11 o'clock.
That'll improve your mood.
Well, it won't, and it's gonna be weird because my understanding is it's a Zoom call, but they're going to be on together.
Yes.
Okay, so really, I don't really care about any of the good stuff for the JT contract. I'm not looking to shine.
So happy to have JT back.
Yeah, I
Our
don't.
pitching staff loves him. He's just a great guy to have in your clubhouse. Can't wait for the token Thompson question.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, you're still here. All right. Yeah, Rob, what do you think of JT?
Right.
What does he bring to the clubhouse?
All that'll be great, and we won't play that. We'll play only the stuff that I want to hear, which is, so Dave, you more or less said you don't want JT Realmuto anymore because you were pursuing Bo Bichette, but then you missed out on him. At what point did you realize that you weren't getting Bo, and did you immediately pivot back to JT? How did that exactly go down?
Well, when it comes to the offseason, you're always looking to improve your club, and we really like the club that we had.
Right.
JT's been a part of that for a long time, and even if we had gone other ways, we always wanted to pursue a reunion with JT Realmuto just because of what he brings to our club.
I hope he's not a hockey coach. I hope that someone makes him answer a question while on the same call with JT of why he decided to move away from JT and pursue Bo Bichette. What was it? I want real details. They were going back and forth for a while, and they moved away from JT, and they thought they had Bo Bichette. He agreed to a contract. So we'll bring that for you coming up at 11 o'clock. Joe Santoliquito was on with Bill Colarulo and Ricky Batalico yesterday. He wrote something for Bleeding Green Nation where he said that A.J. Brown had demanded to be traded 3 times last year.
Yeah, quite a bit. Pretty much once things got stale, every couple weeks, he just wanted to rev up everyone and just, hey, but by the way, I still want out of here, just so you know.
Same time he was doing the social media posts and everything else. And you know, it's definitely worth a listen if you haven't checked it out. Don't do it right now, obviously, but I was listening live in the car, went back and listened this morning, and there's actually some really interesting other things that he said, which we'll get into in a little bit. But A.J. Brown, we know this isn't even the elephant in the room. This is, everybody knows that it's
right.
Like, this is like, what are the Eagles going to do? Howie's asked the question. He said the same thing he said at the trade deadline, which was he's a really good player. You want really good players and all that other stuff. But it didn't feel as, hey, he's a really good player and we don't trade really good players. Right? So it's certainly up for debate, and I think it's certainly something that the Eagles are they probably know what they want to do, or they probably know what they need to do this offseason. But I'm going to make this very clear, and I like A.J. Brown. I didn't necessarily like a lot of the stuff this year as far as the complaining on social media, and really more than that was how it affected him on the field. It affected him where he kind of just disappeared. He wasn't running routes to completion. Not that he wasn't trying out there. He was just kind of going through the motions. And the frustration with the offense and the frustration perhaps or probably with Jalen Hurts was evident. And it affected him. He had drops that he didn't normally ever have. He wasn't making non-routine catches. Like, there's one thing to drop routine catches. It's another thing not to make the tough catches. And we saw far too often this year where he wasn't making these great catches. That's why you pay wide receivers $30 million a year. So for me, Ray, this is a pretty easy decision, and I think it's really important for the Eagles as well. A.J. Brown was clearly a problem with chemistry last year. He clearly was miserable here last year. And there's no reason to believe that that is going to fix itself. It's time to move on. Change is good. It was a great run. They went to 2 Super Bowls. They won a Super Bowl. He had a great Eagles career. It's time to move on. It's time to get a draft pick or 2, and it's trying to figure out who the wide receiver is that's going to be next to Devontae Smith going forward.
Yeah, but when you're in a win-now mode, are you really going to go first-round wide receiver as wide receiver 2 and just hope that it patches up everything?
No, not necessarily.
So
I don't need to use a first-round draft pick to get a wide receiver.
So wide receiver 2, are we going like a Dotson-esque trade to go find salvage value somewhere out there and say, oh, yeah, this will be the guy we put next to Devontae Smith?
I have trust in Howie Roseman that he can figure out where to get a second wide receiver. Yes.
But you look at this passing game, it hasn't been good over the last couple of years. We've been very clear on that one. 2024, you run ball with Saquon to a championship, fantastic. This year, we saw the problems with the passing game. And now you're going to get rid of wide receiver 1. We have to have a conversation about a tight end that's in his 30s, about what they're going to do in terms of paying him, bringing him back. And I know a lot of people are in favor of bringing him back, and they're probably going to try to exhaust every avenue to make that happen. But even if they bring him back, he's an aging tight end, along with Devontae Smith, and then what? This is how the passing game is supposed to improve? Like, we were talking about next year about being the year you decide on whether or not, hey, what's it going to look like for Jalen Hurts going for the future for this team? What's it going to look like for Nick Sirianni? You're in a win-now window where this defense is still somewhat reasonably affordable, and now you're going to make your team actively worse. I get it. I lived through this timeline, too. We came in. We had a segment built a week. Honestly, a show built a week. Let's be real with it.
We were waiting for the show sheet.
Right, correct. Would it be a Snapchat story? He's going on TikTok. We got a LinkedIn open-to-work post. Like, we were waiting for whatever social media post that we got from A.J. Brown week in and week out. And it was annoying as hell. I am not taking that away from anyone. But I think you have to exhaust every avenue to try and make him happy. Like, if you're really coming into this and saying, offense, not in Sirianni's hands. Offensive coordinator, we played the cut yesterday for McManus. Like, Jalen Hurts, we'll talk to you, but we're not deciding this specifically for you. We are going to get the best offensive coordinator for the Eagles. The best offensive coordinator for the Eagles should be able to maximize everyone currently employed by the Eagles, and that includes A.J. Brown.
I mean, okay, I hear you. He's not the same player. He's not. I'm not telling you that he's a lot of people last year, he lost the step. There's also now injury concerns. Joe Santoliquito yesterday talked about the knee. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's cooked. I think what A.J. Brown needs, and this is, I believe that change in life is always good, right? Change for both parties. Andy Reid, Eagles said, hey, Andy, maybe you're the best coach in franchise history. It's time to move on. Andy Reid moves on. Boom, wins multiple Super Bowls with Kansas City. Tony Dungy, change is good. He leaves Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay wins a Super Bowl. Look what happened. He goes to the Colts. They win a Super Bowl, right? Like, A.J. Brown needs to be rejuvenated. I don't think it's happening here with Jalen Hurts. And I don't think it's personal. I think him and Jalen are okay. I don't think he thinks Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback. And he looks at himself and says, I'm a Hall of Fame type receiver. And in this offense, next to another good wide receiver, I'm like, I don't get to do what I want to do. He's going through the motions out there this year. Literally, he's going in games, and it's like he wasn't mad, which is even more of a problem. If he was out there mad that their offense is struggling, he was more mad the year before. At this point, he's just kind of indifferent about it. He's just kind of like, this is what it is. And you don't realize when you do that, you're just going through the motions out there. That's what I saw out of A.J. Brown this year. I don't need to try to change that. I don't need to bring in an offensive coordinator to try to change that. At this point, it's better for him to go to Buffalo. It's better for him to go to Kansas City. It's better for him to go to New England. There should be multiple teams that are interested in A.J. Brown. I don't even know if you get a first-round draft pick for him at this time. I can get a second. Plus, I just think it's a no-brainer. He don't want to be here. He hasn't acted like he wants to be here. It's pretty clear there's something going on internally, and that could have affected the team. So, A.J. Brown, this is the easiest decision of the offseason for me. You move on from him.
Oh, this breaks me up. This is the type of thing that I understand why people don't want him. And like after the game, our text line, if you were able to go through it and just read what people were saying about like this, got to get AJ out of here. I can't like. There's a part of our fan base that even like trying to rectify the football side of this thing. That even if AJ said, you know what, I want to be here, I'm happy here, doesn't want him back at all. Like I'm sure that person exists out there right now that's listening to this. Like I don't even care about how he feels. I don't like him. I don't want him here. to me, the football talent is still there. And if you can revitalize him with change here, like I have an offensive coordinator I'm trying to bring in. Is that offensive coordinator more excited to be here and design an offense with or without A.J. Brown? If I'm an offensive mind out there, I'm like, you have this receiver that you haven't even maximized. The last time you maximized him was, 2023? And even that he was only getting really maximized because he was the only thing that kind of worked about that offense. I think he was still a second-team All-Pro that year. He's still, over the last 4 years playing in this offense, top 5 in the NFL in receiving yards. Like, you could sit there and say, we've had all these problems with the passing game, we've had all these issues offensively, and A.J.'s still been productive. Now, relative to what he should be over the last 2 years, it hasn't been there. But if you're an offensive coordinator coming in, isn't the first order of business for you looking at this wide receiver and saying, let me get buy-in from him. Let me go straight to this guy. Because this is something that we could unlock here that made this team good in 2022. I mean, him coming here was kind of the opening of the window. Getting rid of him right now in a win-now situation, it's not closing anything, but I definitely don't feel better about this offense going into next season.
Okay. I mean, I don't, the way that he played this year, I mean, yeah, AJ Brown's still a talented player. Look at, when did he have his best stretch of catches?
Right after he complained?
Remember? And what did they do in those games?
Well,
they lost.
Are we all of a sudden just absolving coaching of them?
We're not. The point is that when he did get the touches, when he was force-fed, when he wanted it, which made him happy, they were losing the games. So AJ Brown's still a good receiver. I think anybody that's inside that building, from the coaching staff to the front office to the owner to the players, realize the change is necessary. I do. And everything that you hear is that everybody loves him, that he's a good dude, that he's a good teammate. I haven't heard one thing about any diva wide receiver or he's toxic or anything like that. But the relationship with the quarterback on the field's a problem. And you need to get rid of that. Look at Josh Allen, what he had up in Buffalo with
Diggs.
With Diggs. They got rid of him.
Yeah.
They got rid of him. He was a good player still at that point. They got rid of him. You know why? He's worried about what's happening on the field. Josh Allen was worried about, oh my God, Diggs is going to be mad. I got to get him the ball. The offensive coordinator, he's mad. I got to get him the ball. If you're worried about what A.J. Brown wants all the time, that's a problem. You can't play like that. You can't live like that. Here's the phone number, 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. For me, it's not even really like I believe the Eagles will trade him, and I strongly believe the Eagles will trade him. Sure, if there's not a market out there, maybe they hire Mike McDaniel and AJ says, all right, well, I like the sounds of that, and then they decide they're going to keep him. Eagles aren't going to give him away. Joe Santoliquito yesterday said a lot of it had to do with injury concerns, but he said he doesn't think he's worth any more than a third-round draft pick, which I don't know if the Eagles are trading him for a third-round draft pick. They're sure not doing it for a fourth-round draft pick.
Howie Roseman's not in the business of great players if that's the case.
I'm not trading him for a third-round draft pick.
They've done tremendous in the draft, but go down through the list of like third-rounders and the level of talent you're getting. Like, you could hit and be really happy about that, but more than likely, if that turns into a starter for you, you're really happy. That's an issue. Like, I'm not just trading him to trade.
A fourth-rounder average starter is a win.
Yeah.
Right? Like, contributor is a win. If you're an above-average starter, it's like, wow, great draft pick.
Solid work.
Right. I mean, that's the reality. That's what you need out of those mid-round picks. A third-round draft pick, all right, you can get good players with the third round. The Eagles have done very well with second-round draft picks.
Yep.
That should be an above-average starter. LaShawn McCoy was a franchise player. Brian Dawkins is a Hall of Famer. They've done Deshaun Jackson, near Hall of Famer, franchise player. Cooper DeJean, been amazing. Right. Think about that. You could more or less trade A.J. Brown and get a franchise-type player. And here's the other thing. Dallas Goedert comes back. Now you can bring Dallas Goedert back. With that, before, can you bring Dallas Goedert back? I'm not so sure. That's tough to do when you're paying two wide receivers that much money. And another thing, you're going to have a dead cap hit, which the Eagles aren't really worried about. You spread it out over 2 seasons. But that gives you the available cash because you are going to have to start re-signing some of these defensive players. And if you think you're paying A.J. Brown $30 million a year for the next couple years, now you're rid of that. You can get younger at the position. You can get less expensive. And then you can start signing some of your defensive guys.
So signing some of these defensive guys, so as we start to look towards that long-term plan. Because if you get rid of him, I was listening to Kemsky today with the morning guys. Basically, you're taking that dead cap hit this upcoming season, and in 2027, you're actually starting to save money. So I guess If there's a time to do it, now would be the time to do it in terms of financial savings. But defensively then, once you start putting all that money on the defensive side, is the cheap offense here? Because I've seen the model work where they're very expensive on offense, they're infuriating offensively, and thank goodness Vic Fangio is going to get his statue at some point. To reverse this, now if we have an inexpensive offense with the expensive defense, do you believe in this team to build the core for the offense to win?
Yeah, of course I do. Why wouldn't I?
Because I've watched an offense that they were the most expensive in football.
Right, but they weren't before that.
I mean, they've been pretty expensive for the last couple of years.
No, but like, you have. I mean, Saquon wasn't on the team; they were still in a Super Bowl. A.J. Brown was on the team, but Devontae wasn't making any money. He was on a first-round contract.
I mean, that offensive line was pretty expensive.
Landon Dickerson wasn't. He was still on a rookie contract. Kelsey was, but Lane certainly always makes a lot of money. I'm trying to think of who the other. Becton was one of those years. He was a 1 year. Yeah. Now Steen is a 1 year, whatever. Before, when they won a Super Bowl, their defense was making money. Brandon Graham was making money. Fletcher Cox was making money. Your defense was expensive. Your offense wasn't necessarily expensive. Now it's reversed. But now as the defense gets their next contracts, they have to get cheaper on offense.
They have to, which I guess kind of underscores how important this offensive coordinator hire is, and also goes to the sustainability of this head coach without an offensive scheme, whether or not you keep that down the line. Because if we keep rolling over offenses here, maybe this is more my insecurity about the way they're set up, if they could go cheap on offense. Because I feel like the offensive talent has carried what has been lackluster offensive, just schematics, whatever you want to go, use your favorite word to describe the fact the offense infuriated you over the last couple of years. Like, passing game's been not in rhythm, for the last 2 years? And I feel like we haven't. We talked about this. Kellen Moore, is he a genius, or are they just able to run the football a lot better last year? So that's more my concern with this. And I hate that we're going to watch probably if not the most talented, one of the top 3 wide receivers that we've seen wearing Eagles uniforms just walk out the door. Yeah, but everyone's just going to kind of accept it.
But he's not that player now. You talked about how many yards he's averaged over the last 5 years. What about right now? You're not talking about the last 5 years. Talking about right now.
And part of this does go to the fact that he was disinterested at times this year. You could question his effort, all those things. Is also part of this the fact that he's got justifiable concerns? He's the one that said it. You can't just slap a Band-Aid on this and expect it's all going to be fine. He took the wrong ways to deliver the right message this year.
Yeah, and I think that's why guys didn't speak out against him behind the scenes, because they know he's not wrong.
Right.
Okay, so the quarterback's a problem.
The whole offense is a problem.
Is a quarterback a part of it?
Absolutely.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
Now they get a new offensive coordinator, you better hope the quarterback's good. All I'm saying is that, sure, you could bring him back and you could have Mike McDaniel or Daboll, and they're more creative, and AJ's rejuvenated, and he looks like a different player. It's a possibility for sure. Or he could come back and you have an offensive coordinator who helps the offense, but he's still not happy. He wasn't happy the year before with Kellen Moore, was he?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I got you. I'm just saying, you use the Bills example. The Bills example here is tremendous until I realized that Josh Allen was crying the other day, and Stephon Diggs now has gotten an opportunity in New England, but it's after he went to C.J. Stroud, because Stroud was the next big thing. Oh, yeah, Houston, that's great. It's going to work out perfectly for you. He ends up getting hurt, and now he's a part of a New England team that every time someone talks about the Patriots, they say, man, if they just had some weapons. That was a guy who was the weapon in Buffalo. It doesn't always work out, and we just break things up to break things up.
And now look at him. He hasn't been good since he left. It was actually the right move to make for Buffalo. The problem is they haven't replaced him.
Right, and that's the issue here. Like, are we going to be talking about, oh, wow, it's so great to see all those targets Dawson Knox is getting? Like, oh, yeah, Brandon Cooks is getting the ball with the season on the line. Brandon Cooks is like 75 years old, and we were all expecting him to come down with that football. Am I going to be watching Brandon Cooks on the Eagles? Like, that's...
No, we better not be watching Brandon Cooks.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, your replacement, you could be, oh, yeah, that Shakir guy's really, really improving.
Okay, but is Brandon Beane and Howie Roseman, are they similar GMs?
No.
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
But if you have to go cheap at some point, you might go cheap on that second wide receiver.
All right, we'll take your reaction. It's pretty simple. A.J. Brown, you trade him. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. So you gave your opinion. Do you believe they're going to trade him?
If at the top of your priority is trading him, top of my priority is doing everything I can to keep him. I do think we end up down the path that they're going to deal him. Just listening to every national insider we've had on the air here, and even the local guys.
It doesn't mean that they know that, though. Right? They're just kind of Colarulo says that,
Right.
they may keep him.
Here's how down bad I am about this situation. I've gone all in on Colarulo saying, no, don't rule it out. They might keep him.
All right, we'll get your phone calls and your texts coming up. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about my hair for a second. That's right, Morgenstern Hair Restoration, same crew that did my hair, over 30 years of experience when it comes to hair. And right now they're offering $500 back off hair transplants for new patients only. This is advanced hair restoration backed by a team with over 30 years of experience. You know, right now I'm in the Instagram algorithm because I went to Morgenstern Hair on Instagram. I was checking out something that they had, so now I'm in the algorithm for hair loss. And I was watching something this morning where this person saying that with the shampoo, and then they have the after picture of this guy with this big, full, dark head of hair, and it's like, hang on a second. He didn't go from being bald to having a full head of hair by using shampoo. That's not the way it works. Trust me, it doesn't work like that. Morgenstern Hair Restoration is where you want to go. If you're bald, hair transplants, or if you want to maintain the hair that you have, you're saying, you know what, I like the hair I have. I'd like it for it to be a little bit thicker, but I'm okay with the hair I have right now. I don't want to lose anymore. Bam. Morgenstern Hair Restoration. Most experience, most success. Experience you can trust. Their phone number, you can remember this. 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR. MorgensternHair.com. Morgan with an E. MorgensternHair.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Philly sports appears to be back. I'm Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. Sixers defeat the Pacers 113-104 Monday night. Tyrese Maxey, 29 points and 8 steals in the win to prove why he is an All-Star. He spoke about how he feels being selected an All-Star for the second time.
I feel good. I feel really good, man. I'm thankful to the fans, thankful to the media, players, everybody who voted in me, and I'm just happy. This means that we're winning games and we're trending in the right direction.
Sixers look to keep it rolling against the Suns starting at 7 p.m. You can listen to that right here on The Fanatic. Flyers defeated the Golden Knights 2-1 Monday night as they break their 6-game losing streak. The Fly Guys have off tonight, but will travel to Utah to take on the Mammoth Wednesday night. Phillies designated infielder Weston Wilson for assignment this morning to make room for the newly re-signed JT Realmuto on the 40-man roster. This update is brought to you by IHOP. IHOP's value menu is here. Enjoy breakfast favorites like pancakes, eggs, and bacon, French toast with sausage, or a cheesy omelet with pancakes, all just for $6. Go to your happy place at the $6 IHOP value menu. I'm Patricia Caputo on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
That's not reggae,
No, it's not.
but you're Ray.
I am. That's me.
I guess we could play. I don't want to turn this into. I don't think there's enough reggae songs.
fans?
Like I can't do 9 reggae songs. We can do a
Right.
couple.
What, like, how many reggae artists do you know?
Probably more than the average, because everybody just thinks Bob Marley.
Right. That's about all I got.
The average person would say Bob Marley. I like island music, so I listen to.
That makes sense.
I listen to so I listen to more than probably the
Right. All right.
average. But it's difficult when you play a song coming back from break. It just can't be a song that you like. It needs to actually work.
Yeah.
For doing it, and that's oftentimes with the reggae songs. It's it's difficult.
Right.
We could do a Marley song. Caputo, can you find a Marley song, a Bob Marley song we can come back to?
Yeah, I can try.
Like every little thing going to be all right?
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean,
All right.
pretty much that was exactly what I thought. Like, if I was in there producing and you asked me for a reggae show, I could guarantee you coming back at 10:30, every little thing will be all right. And then it would be just whatever the YouTube algorithm recommends after that.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
hoping that it sticks with that theme.
Well, I'll try to. Cause I was even fishing around this morning, and I was like, like a Damian Marley song that's like it doesn't really work coming back, and then there's profanity in it, and that's talking about some other stuff.
Well, that's the other thing.
Right.
You're always at the risk of whatever YouTube video you're rolling out there.
Correct. All right. Well, it is a Reggae Tuesday, regardless. Ray Dunn, Patricia Caputo, here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's get some reaction here in a second, but let's play Joe Santoliquito. And all right, so having been somebody that has professionally lived and died with Joe Santoliquito's report on Carson Wentz, however many years ago. How many years ago is it now? Is it after 2018? Is it after 2018?
7 years?
So it's been a while.
Yeah. Been a minute.
And having, at the time heard some similar things that Joe reported, and 95% of Eagles fans said that Joe was lying. None of it was true. No one believes that about Carson Wentz. And also knowing, like, behind the scenes that, like, his sources, I'll just say his sources were actually real.
Pretty good.
And he ended up being accurate. Everything that he said was actually correct. We found out later, what he said was right. And Joe, when he reported it, he had people that came to his apartment and were, like, pounding on his door.
I remember it was one of the more absurd things.
Oh, my God. So anyway, he comes out. He says A.J. Brown is demanding a trade. By the way, he likes A.J. a lot. I think him and A.J. have some type of a relationship. So I don't know what his sources are. But I think it's fair to say that he's accurate, or his sources are pretty good when it comes to this particular report. So he's talking about A.J. Brown. Do we have the one where he's talking about the quarterback as well?
We have. You want to go return or quarterback play first?
Well, let's do A.J. Brown with Santoliquito yesterday. Do we have that, or do we have two cuts with Santoliquito?
We have two cuts.
Let's do the one where he's talking about just the A.J. Brown, not the quarterback thing. Here's Joe Santoliquito yesterday with Ricky and Bill.
At best, they might be able to get a third-round pick. Because I think, from the boxing world I come from, I think the word we would use in terms of a fighter is that fighter is shot. And I think the best of A.J. Brown may be shot. I mean, he had been playing great these years. The reason why Tennessee let go of him is because they had questions about his knee. Well, obviously the knee held up in the time he was with the Eagles. He's done great things.
All right. Third-round pick?
No. Not a shot.
At best?
Yeah. If that's at best, guess what?
I don't think they trade him.
You make the best of the situation you got, AJ, because I'm not trading you for a third-round pick.
I agree with you, but if I believe that internally there's a lot of people that are like, they like AJ and they understand where he's coming from, but does that mean you want to do it for a whole other season? I can't have the social media stuff every week where the owner's having to give him hugs during practice because, he's like, no, you don't have to apologize. You don't have to say you're sorry. We understand. Right? What do you think Jalen Hurts thinks about that when the story's out in the media that Jeffrey Lurie's hugging him?
Oh, yeah. I'm
and
sure
telling him not to say he's sorry.
Sure, it's a pretty uncomfortable thing here. But I got to be honest with you. I posted quite a bit on social media about how much I hated this offense, too. So, now that we're past it this season, of course I could feel a lot like, oh, yeah, I could do that again. I'll be annoyed in the moment, but, wrong message or wrong delivery, right message.
Was A.J. Brown part of the problem this year?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree.
Absolutely. But we're running it back with quite a few people that were part of the problem this year.
Okay. All right. I don't disagree with that. All right. Here's more Santoliquito. Now he's talking about something that involves Jalen Hurts. Listen.
may not all be on Kevin Patullo, the Eagles' offensive problems. The Eagles' offensive problems may also fall on number one. So, but no, I mean, basically, I think the issue is having a quarterback that can get him the ball more frequently. And I think that's what he was looking at. I mean, he played the good soldier during the Super Bowl season. The reason why they won the Super Bowl, a big reason why they won the Super Bowl, is because of the selflessness of that 2024 Eagles team. I think we all agree on.
You agree with that?
Yeah. I think everyone played a good soldier that year.
AJ, he went from being like 1,500 yards to we're running the ball almost all the time. He still had over 1,000 yards, still had a good year, but he wasn't getting the targets. It wasn't the passing offense he was looking for. And he did. He did. He played the good soldier. Now, he also, he came out and he said it was the passing offense. He didn't call out Jalen, but it certainly felt like he was.
But we did a solid week here of that, okay, what's the Jalen thing? Like, it's interesting the way this is all developed, because I think 2023, it was personal. Like, when we were talking about the two of them going back for 2023, it was whatever was going on with their relationship. I don't write for a gossip magazine. I don't know. But the last 2 years, it feels like it's more offense-based, where it's like, okay, like, I came here because we're boys, and what I want. You know that, I want my legacy. I want to be a Hall of Famer. And it's not delivering on that. That's the Super Bowl post for me still comes to mind, where it's like Friday, the parade just ended. He's like, yeah, I wasn't fulfilled. I was like, you won a Lombardi. Like, that's a part of your legacy.
He was unhappy after winning a Super Bowl.
Right. And you go back, I think it was the NFC Championship game in 22, and it's like he wanted to be a bigger part of it. They were winning the playoff game, and I had to buy a book called Inner Excellence because I had to read it. We've seen this.
The book on the sideline thing. All right, so you want to sign up for that for another year?
Yeah.
I don't.
That's how good he is.
No, he's really not. He wasn't this year. How was he in the decisive playoff game?
I was disinterested.
Right.
I was disinterested in this offense. You were disinterested in this offense. They have fundamental problems inside there that he's wrong for acting the way he did. He's absolutely wrong for it. But to me, it's not just, okay, just throw him out the door. It's like, all right, how do we rekindle that interest? How do you rekindle my interest in watching that offense?
Well, you're going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
Right. Well, you got to make.
He's on a contract to do it.
You got. Yeah, but you don't have to keep him. You can trade him and get something else. Let's go to Ish. Ish in Levittown. Ish, good morning, man. What up?
Good morning. How are you, Johnny?
Hi, Ish.
Hey, okay, I just have this AJ Brown thing gets me riled up a little bit. Okay, I just have a question.
Sound riled up.
If we trade AJ Brown, the Eagles are not going anywhere. Howie does not know how to draft wide receivers. We have to
Devontae Smith.
We have to. Johnny, that was given to him. Look what he did the year before.
It wasn't given to him. He traded 2 draft picks and still got the player. It wasn't given to him. He maneuvered around, got additional draft picks for it.
Okay, I understand that, right? But he passed on Justin Jefferson when he was right there.
We know.
The Vikings were laughing at him. And only why he did that was only why he traded back for A.J. Brown was because of the disappointment that he had with Nelson Aguilar or whatever, Rager.
With Jalen Rager, yeah.
So we can't trade A.J. Brown. He's part of the offense. If we trade him, we're not going anywhere.
So you don't think they make the playoffs? Hang on a second. You don't think they make the playoffs?
I think they make the playoffs, but I think they lose in the first round.
Like this year with A.J. Brown?
Yes. Well, no, hold on. You give me a couple more minutes. You're blaming the offense on them, but it's really the offensive coordinator not drawing up.
I agree.
For them.
No, I mean, listen, and unfortunately up against it, I tried to sneak you in. I'm not blaming A.J. Brown for anything. Then A.J. Brown wasn't great this year. Outside of the offense and Kevin Patullo and Jalen Hurts, I saw A.J. Brown drop a lot of passes. I saw A.J. Brown not compete like we see him compete before. I saw A.J. Brown for the second straight season have things that bothered him on the field, bringing it off the field. I saw a disinterested wide receiver. Man, you're making a pretty big jump to think he's going to be okay because you're bringing in a new offensive coordinator. Because he was the same way with Kellen Moore, who we're putting in the Hall of Fame.
Right, we'll put Kellen Moore in the Hall of Fame, but this is the year following it.
All right, coming up, we have more on the Eagles and also the details of JT Realmuto and his incentive clauses is out there.
Oh, good.
And we have Dave Dombrowski coming up hopefully at 11 o'clock. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. Reggae Tuesday. And that's Ray.
Should we do that? Like maybe try and go out on remote for a Tuesday and just get a reggae band?
Bring him in here.
All right.
Put him right there.
Hey, people, please send your favorite live reggae bands to us. We'll bring them in.
Correct. We'll do that. And by the way, like people are spelling it out Raygay.
Yeah, I know. That's definitely not what you intended by this at all. That's not at all the unintended consequence here.
But by the way, gay also means happy.
Yeah.
So like everybody that's
I exude happiness on a daily basis.
you do. You do.
I do, actually. I think I'm a pretty positive person.
You are a positive person. You
Yeah.
are a happy person.
Yeah,
You're
a
not
lot.
a miserable person.
No.
Not at all. No, you're fine.
I'm fine. Yeah, that's better. He's
Until
not miserable. He's not happy. He's fine.
No, you're not a miserable person at all. You're no, you're good.
Yeah.
All right, so let me give you until I tell you this. So JT Real Muto,
Oh, I'm so scared.
the contract was announced officially today. Dave Dombrowski and JT speaking to the media separately. As I was wondering out loud, how the hell are they going to put them out there at the same time? They didn't.
Smart.
So JT first, Dave second. We'll carry the Dave part of it coming up at 11 o'clock. And just to let you know, he said we have a good club on multiple occasions, so we'll have some new drops. Some cleaner, we have a good club, too.
All right.
Believe. And he said the word club probably about 10 times just from me listening for a few minutes.
Only people that talk about clubs more, Miami party promoters.
Correct. Yeah, they're into the club scene a little bit more than Dave, but only by a little bit. JT Realmuto's incentive structure. It's a maximum of $5 million.
Okay.
All right.
So it would be up to $20 million
per year.
Yeah.
Now, but like he has incentives that it would be $7 million, but he can only get 5 of that.
Okay.
So I'll explain. So $2 million for an all-star selection from the fans.
Okay.
So if he's voted in by the fans, that'd be a starter, right?
So I'm gonna mark that down so that I notice how many times they promote him for the All-Star game this year coming up.
$2 million. $1 million for non-fan vote all-star.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Could easily happen.
Yes.
$1 million for a gold glove.
Okay.
Has he won a gold glove recently?
What? Maybe back on the first contract? I don't think he's won one. Let me go back.
Yeah, look. Because, I mean, if everybody's saying, like, oh, well, he deserves, you signed him just for his.
2022.
Okay.
2022.
That's 2022's more than the couple seasons.
Yeah, no. As you can tell by how old this team's gotten and the way we're talking about the window, 2022 wasn't exactly last week.
$1 million for Silver Slugger. $2 million.
We did that.
$2 million for top 10 MVP finish. So really, and I don't know Silver Slugger. I don't know.
So 2022, it was Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, MVP voting came in 7th.
Okay.
So
but he hasn't since then at all.
Hasn't been an All-Star since 21. Yeah.
So really, the incentive that he has, the two incentives that he's got the biggest chance to get are All-Star and then possibly a Gold Glove, even though he hasn't done that in a while. Agreed?
I hope he has
Or
a
none.
hot start to the season. I don't think he has a shot.
Well, he could be an all-star. If he has a hot first half and the
hot
Phillies
first
are
half,
good.
yeah.
Because think about it. When teams are good, that's when you get a lot of – Alec Bohm was a freaking all-star. Starter,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
for that matter. So he could
Post
be an
has
all-star.
got a point on that one.
Yeah, I don't know about anything else. So the incentives or whatever. And by the way, so I finally – I don't know if you've heard me over the last couple of days since the contract was announced, Patricia Caputo. I was pretty angry. This morning – I'm actually I'm off of hating JT and I like JT again.
Oh, that's good.
Progress.
Yes. So I'm not I look at this picture of JT. I think he's handsome again. I'm not mad
Aw,
when I
that's
look at it.
sweet.
Yes.
Glad you guys were able to make up.
Good stuff. Yeah.
I've decided to take the animosity that I had towards JT and I'm putting it all on Dave Dombrowski now. So I'm not transferring. I'm not taking away any anger. It's just all going towards Dave Dombrowski. Not ownership. Not John Middleton. Not the Phillies for being cheap. None of that. Dave Dombrowski. He's on the clock for me right now, and he's going to talk because you're the one that's now going to have to sit up there and answer questions because you lost out on Bo Bichette, and you're going to say you have a good club. We know that you have a good club. How good is it, though? How good is it? Is it as good as it was last year? Jason Stark wants to come on and say that, the Dodgers thought they got lucky in beating the Phillies. Okay. Bob Nightingale wants to say that Dombrowski's done a great job or a good job with the Phillies. Is the team right now, entering 2026, because there's still time, is the team as good as the one in 2025 that ended the season? No. I don't know how you can make the argument that it is. Your bullpen's better.
Yeah, that's nice.
Is your starting pitching better?
Nope.
Not at all. No, in fact, No. It's a little scary what their starting pitching looks like right now with the uncertainty to Wheeler.
You are kind of doomsday forecasting.
Nope.
The Sanchez stuff is kind of doomsday forecasting.
Okay, but Sanchez this is something that could potentially happen.
It could.
Andrew Painter's ERA was 5 in AAA last year. Taijuan Walker, we wanted designated for assignment this time last year, and he did a good job filling in. And Aaron Nola's ERA was over 6. Even if you're expecting a bounce back, I think, like, if you're talking about in the 4s, okay, then we can talk. 60% of your rotation are question marks right now.
I got you. I know. The one thing that you lose me with was the Sanchez one. I can absolutely deal with Nola questions. I can deal with the Painter question. The Painter thing is absurd. And this is a big Dombrowski mistake in my eyes that he put a timeline on Painter last year. Because as soon as he missed that timeline, now we come into this season with, oh, yeah, now you want that guy to be a part of this thing? And sure, maybe it's just the nature of coming back from Tommy John. I don't necessarily need him to be like, oh, yeah, his bounce back from Tommy John, his second season back from Tommy John is actually when he's going to be trusted to be a part of the rotation for a contending team. So I see that concern. And, Walker is what Walker is. Now, the problem is with him throwing in the World Baseball Classic, he's going to run out of gas at the end of June instead of the end of July. Because you look at his career, first half, second half splits, the guy's never put together a full season.
By the way, by that time, you may not need him.
Right.
Because Wheeler's going to be back.
Yeah, and hopefully that's what you just bios you till then.
So I say the timetable on Wheeler coming back is more of a question mark than if he comes back. Maybe he's not the Wheeler that's a Cy Young runner-up.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if Wheeler didn't come back and wasn't the Zach Wheeler that we know.
I hope. I hope.
Oh, so you have more questions than me.
Well, I feel like it's pretty standard to have a question on the guy that was out with thoracic outlet syndrome.
Okay. All right, I'm not disagreeing, but like you said, I'm doomsday scenario. With Chris Sanchez, I'm just pointing out that I've seen way too many pitchers that haven't had the workload before in the career come back the next year and not be the same pitcher with velocity and stuff like that. Sanchez is awesome. He's one of my favorite Phillies. Yeah. I love him.
No, it's not that I think there's anything you have against him. That's the one where I get a little cautious with. And then to the rest of the rotation, I feel like every year you could kind of go in. Like Ranger at the end of 2024, remember how out of gas he was? He somehow got out of that Mets series, but it was my God.
Ran out of gas. Yep.
He ran out of gas at the end of the season. Taijuan was a 7 ERA guy. We came in the next year and it was like, is Sanchez going to be that again for you? What's the back end of that rotation look like? And there were question marks with that rotation, but it ended up being a pretty solid rotation.
No, it was really good.
There's at least a little bit of a pedigree to this rotation that a lot of teams would be like, yeah, all right.
60% doesn't have the pedigree. Bottom line, Luzardo had success, love his stuff. He had a good year. He had that couple blow-ups there in the middle of the year, but I'm not worried about Luzardo. I think he's a solid 2 or 3.
You lock him up, extension?
It's all about money.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would like to lock him up. They pay him $30 a year, $25 a year. I mean, you see what Sanchez is going, or what Ranger's going.
Ranger
for.
got, yeah. Well, the reason you lock him up is you hope you get him before he gives you. Ranger got what, 25 a year?
30 a year. Ranger got $30 million a year. 5 years, 130.
5 years, 130,
or 5 years,
26 a year.
5 years, 150.
No, I think he got 130. 5 years, 130. You got that right. Yeah, so he got 26 a year.
26 years.
So, yeah, he gets 26 a year. If you, right now, you look at Luzardo, hey, you had a really nice season, but, we could take care of you now for an extension.
I'm not giving him that now.
No, I'm not giving him that now either. Like you said, this is what Ranger did.
All right, so quickly, because Dombrowski's coming up in just a few minutes. So, rotation as good as the end of last year?
No.
Wheeler was hurt, but still.
Yeah.
Bullpen better than last year?
Yeah.
On paper, yes.
Right.
Lineup better than last year?
Nope.
No.
Just about a wash.
Okay. All right. So has Dave Dombrowski done this great job according to Nightingale? We have a good club. The team's not as good as what left last year. So now I've gotta wait for the trade deadline for you to try to improve them. Okay, Dave.
I'm sure you're going to be thrilled then to hear Dave in a couple minutes.
Dave Dombrowski tells you they have a good club and a lot more. How does he answer the question about Bo Bichette? That's all coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers and Flyers win. I'm Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. Sixers defeated the Pacers 113-104 Monday night. Tyrese Maxey, 29 points and 8 steals in the win to prove why he's an all-star. Sixers will look to keep it rolling against the Suns starting at 7 p.m. You can listen to that right here on the Fanatic. Flyers also defeated the Golden Knights 2-1 Monday night. Travis Konecny scored both goals with the team, including the goal to secure the game. Fly Guys have off tonight, but we'll travel travel to Utah to take on the Mammoth Wednesday night. Phillies designated infielder Weston Wilson for assignment this morning to make room for the newly re-signed JT Realmuto on the 40-man roster. Scott Lawler spoke this morning to the morning show about where the team stands at this point in the offseason.
I think we can have a legitimate debate about are they better today than they were at the end of the Dodger series. I do think that they are still one of the top handful of teams, less than that, in the National League and should be back there.
We'll keep you updated on all Phillies news as the Baseball Hall of Fame election will also be announced tonight. Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins, some of the former names on the Phillies that could cement their name in Cooperstown. This update is brought to you by IHOP. IHOP's value menu is here. Enjoy breakfast favorites like pancakes, eggs, and bacon, French toast with sausage, or cheesy omelet with pancakes, all for just $6. Go to your Happy Plates with $6 IHOP value menu. I'm Patricia Caputo on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody. John Marks, Middays with Marks, Ray Dunn, Patricia Caputo, Nate Tennyson feverishly in the back editing the Dave Dombrowski We Have a Good Club press conference.
I'm shocked that he's moved off his stance.
Brandon Dutz back there, our YouTube producer, everybody's back there. So, real fast before we get into that, Weston Wilson was designated for assignments.
Oh.
Hate to see it. So JT Realmuto is signed. They have to add him to the 40-man roster, which means they have to take somebody off the 40-man roster. So Weston Wilson was the casualty. Here's my question. Who's your outfield? How many outfielders are they going to carry? 6? Because right now you have a combination of Marsh Kemp in left, Crawford in center, Garcia in right. Is Rojas your top backup? Is Rojas going to be on this roster?
I mean, there's a chance, I guess.
Well, you know who's your other outfielder?
I'm looking at the 40-man right now.
Minor league inviter.
Yeah. Rincon. I can't pronounce his name because I think of Moneyball, but Gabriel Rincones.
Yeah, he's not ready to. He's not ready to.
He's not ready, but they've talked about him.
No, I know, and they talked about him last year. He didn't have a great year.
Right. But they also were like, yeah, Rojas from Double-A, you're going to come up, you're going to be able to play a good center field and hit eventually.
And he played
a good center field, but
at first.
Yeah.
At first he did.
And then that swing stayed as loopy as it was for as long as he was up here.
So if your starting outfield is suspect, what about the depth? It's not good. I'm not trying to pretend Weston Wilson is an all-star or anything like that, but at least I thought he was a right-handed bat you could count on.
Weston Wilson, for longtime Middays fans here on the Fanatic, was a fun 4-hour show back in the day.
Really?
Someone that sat in this chair that now sits in that chair in afternoons was a big dub-dub guy. And
Bill Colarulo.
Yeah.
Because Mike hated him.
No, just
because?
There's a little pop there, Mike, I promise.
Well, I was a Weston Wilson.
Yeah, he was a fine platoonsman.
He's a good
can't really play left
AAA
field.
/ Major League player.
Another quad A outfielder. Who would have thought?
All right, Dave Dombrowski. There's some good stuff here on Bo Bichette as well. The one thing with Dave, as we learned, sometimes maybe he's a little bit too honest, but he's very forthcoming and he answers the questions. So do we, Trish, are we good? All right, here's Dave Dombrowski just moments ago.
JT said it was pretty hairy. I mean, how close was it that you thought that A, he wasn't going to come back? And I guess B, what were your other options at catcher if he didn't?
Well, it was close. We thought we had a chance to make another deal, which fell through at the last minute. That would have changed perhaps the direction that we would have gone. We did have some other alternatives on things we would have pursued. But in one sense, when I say this, it's not something that just at the last second we've been looking for in the winter time. I talked to JT's agent. His name's Matt Ricardo. We call him Cotto. And as a fine individual and does a good job with the agency. But as Cotto had told me, he says, Dave, I've talked to you more this winter time than I've talked to my fiance. I've had so many conversations with him over the winter, starting right after the season. And we always wanted to bring JT back. That was always a priority for us. They knew it. We also knew that he wanted to come back. And it really became a situation there was a disagreement as far as dollars were concerned, is what it came down to. And we just couldn't really bridge that gap for an extended time period. So with that, and really kind of leading into the winter meetings, we had to at least be open-minded because we didn't know if we would close the gap, even though we had the mutual desire to do that. So we ended up being in a position where we discussed other catching alternatives. They knew we were doing that. We were very open in that regard because I didn't want to catch them off guard based upon our what we think of JT. And again, you can think very highly of somebody, and I could not say more positive things about any individual that I know and his family, with JT and Lexi and their kids. It really just came down to we just had a disagreement in the dollars. And so we couldn't bridge that gap, and we didn't bridge that gap to the very end.
Dave, did you think you had a deal with Bichette done, and why do you think it didn't get done?
Well, I can't say that we ever thought it was done because there's a difference between, we thought we were very close to having a deal done. We thought it was going to happen, but it wasn't done. And so there's a difference between the two. And as I've explained to some other people, that it's a situation where in baseball, and agents run things differently between themselves. They do things in different ways. Until you sign a memo of understanding, you don't have a deal done. And we did not sign one of those. And it wasn't that we weren't moving towards that direction. It didn't think that we were going to get there based upon our conversations. But we did not get to that point. So I can't say that I ever thought we had it done. I did think we were going to get a deal done.
Getting that close to something of that magnitude and then end up not getting there, how do you get past that? And what, I guess, like, how do you feel about how the offseason went? If you're sitting here 3 weeks, I guess, before pitchers and catchers.
Well, how do you get through? First of all, whenever you have, and this is not the first time this has ever happened to me. And sometimes it actually happens more than you would think through free agency and trades. I mean, I've been to many times where I thought we were going to make a trade, and then all of a sudden they go in a different direction. It's a gut punch. I mean, you feel it. That day you are very upset, I guess is the way to say it. But you have to pick yourself off and shake it off. I mean, because you can't just wallow in what took place. So after a day of feeling that way, or a time period, you need to move forward. And so that's how you handle it. And again, it's happened to me more than you could count. And so that's what you have to do. We did rebound in the sense that we signed JT right away, which I'm very fortunate that we're very fortunate he didn't sign somewhere else. And I think overall of the wintertime, I like our club. We have a good club. I've just said it's a situation. People forget we re-signed Schwartz. If we hadn't re-signed him, I don't know how I would be feeling about the wintertime. As you could see, there was a lot of competition for him. I look at our club with signing JT, which was also a priority for us. And if we didn't sign JT, and no offense to the catchers that we have with Marchand and Stubbs, we would have been in a position we would have tried to add somebody somehow, some way, because I don't think we'd have felt comfortable going through a year without having somebody else back there. So bringing JT back was huge for us.
JT said a couple times that things got really hairy last week as everything kind of moved towards Bichette. And I'm wondering, did you guys was he told you might not be coming back because we have another offer out there? Did you have to pull the offer off the table for JT? Is that how close it got, I guess?
Well, it did get very close. I won't go into the blow by blow, but it's a situation where we got to the point. And his agent, again, who I talked to, Matt Mercado, had always told him, and I think it's the right thing to do, if we got to the point where we thought we would go in a different direction, I wouldn't want him to read about it in the paper.
And then
So I did let them know we were getting very close to making a deal. And at that point, we weren't going to be able to make both of them at that particular time.
Okay.
So yes, I mean, we did get to that point, and I understand, and it's not an ideal scenario. It's a difficult situation, but I think sometimes you have to do things in a professional fashion, even though it's not easy.
When you spoke at the end of the year, it seemed like Bryce Harper took a bit of offense to how you characterized his season and what you think he could possibly be going forward. Have you talked with Bryce since? What's your guys' relationship like, and how confident are you in him being one of the faces of this thing moving forward?
Well, I mean, I did talk to Bryce. I've talked about this a while ago, so I'm not going to go into that again in further detail. But I have spoken to Bryce, had a great conversation with him. That goes back a while ago. That goes back into November, so a couple months ago. And I do think he will have the ability to be one of the faces of a franchise, and look forward to having a tremendous year for us. I think he will.
Hey, Dave, there's a narrative out there that the Phillies were played a little bit by the Bichette camp. Have you heard that? Do you agree with that? Do you question their sincerity at all?
No, I can't, because you never know 100% what's going on from their perspective, right? I don't know where they were. The Tucker thing, signing played into it, I believe, the timing of it. I think, organizations that are smart, and the Mets and Dodgers are smart. Like, I don't know if Tucker would have gone to the Mets rather than the Dodgers, that the Dodgers wouldn't have jumped into it at the last second. And I'm sure they had some feelers into it. The timing, and I do think, and I could be wrong, so I'm not saying this for sure, I do think he was sincere about thinking about coming to Philadelphia. Yes, I do that. I think he was. And I think what ended up happening is the dollar numbers, and that we were at the numbers they really asked us to match, to pay. We were still going through some nuances, but I think in the time period that the Mets jumped in full bore ahead, and that it ended up being that their short-term offer ended up being so much that they decided to take the short-term offer rather than the long-term offer. I don't know that for sure, but that's what it's appeared to me. And but I do think he was sincere about potentially coming with us, and I think they jumped in at the last minute and made him a short-term offer that was very appealing to him.
Were you presented with the opportunity to structure a similar deal to the Mets?
Well, we really were not interested in doing that type of deal. We had talked about that in the very beginning.
And just finally, after you got the word from the Bichette camp, how quickly did you re-engage with JT's camp?
Very quickly. I can't tell you the minutes, but it was within an hour, because I called John Middleton to just let him know, and that we were not getting the Bichette deal done because we had, of course, been in conversation. And I told him what my thought processes were at that point, which was to be in a position to call JT's camp and try to get that deal done. And he, of course, gave his blessing into that regard. He lets you make those, but I just wanted to keep him informed. And I called his agent and right away at that point. So I don't know the number of minutes, but it was very fast.
All right, there's Dave Dombrowski. They have a good club, Ray.
Oh, they got a good club.
All right, so what do you think?
Woof. He went through this whole thing about how it's a gut punch and you're upset and you got to pick yourself up off the mat there. It took about 90 minutes for them to go from Bichette favorites to JT's a Philly again. So I don't know how much, it might have been a gut punch, but this was very clearly JT, you go sit in the hallway. If this candidate we don't hire, we'll hire you then. It was very clear that the JT camp knew our leverage is basically if Bichette fails, we're going to get the contract we want. If Bichette succeeds, we're going to have to go
going to the Rays.
Yeah, we're going to have to try and create something out of nothing here. He did say in there, it was interesting, if we hadn't re-signed Schwarb, don't know how we'd feel about this offseason. By the way, nobody forgot.
That's how he started it.
Yeah, people forget that we signed Schwarber. Nobody has forgotten. Everyone's underwhelmed because it was Schwarber and
it
what?
was the expectation.
Right.
He wanted to come back. The Phillies wanted him back. It's been done for over a month. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if we hadn't re-signed Schwarber, I don't know how we'd feel about this. No, I know how we'd feel about this. We'd be in dire straits.
Yeah, you'd have a bunch of money that you'd be trying to spend elsewhere.
Right.
And you probably would have Bo Bichette. You would have overpaid for him.
Correct. You might have gone to the $42 million. You might have gone to the absurd.
Which wouldn't have been good.
No, which wouldn't have been good. He's not a $42 million player.
He's not. But one thing he said at the end, and actually Uncle Jamie just texted me, and he's right, that were they never going to get Bichette?
It almost feels like it.
If the Mets get Tucker, do the Dodgers do the same thing that the Mets did?
Right.
Probably.
And it's
jumped in at the last minute. Like Uncle Jamie's a general manager of the car dealership. He goes to these auctions and he says that people wait until 5 seconds left and they start bidding. You ever watch Storage Wars, the old show on A&E?
Yeah.
Right, I used to love that show. Right,
it's a great show.
Right, sometimes the guys just wait till the very end, going once, going twice, and then you throw that bid in there. That was the Mets, and it probably would have been the Dodgers.
And that's kind of where I got to Friday. We were talking about it, and I was kind of keep going back to okay, how real was this? There might have been genuine interest there from him. I don't doubt that. But if he was always looking for a short term with opt outs, he said it. He said the exact quote, Dombrowski, we're not interested in a similar deal to what the Mets did. Okay, that's not how the Phillies do business. But if you're not going to do business that way, you're going to miss out on opportunities like this. And maybe you weren't comfortable going to $42 million deal. Again, it makes him what? A $90 million player at that point with the luxury tax penalties? And for Middleton, I can only imagine that first error at third base that Bichette makes because he's never played third base in his life.
They weren't doing it. They weren't doing it. The reason why they could offer him $28 or $29 million is because then that puts them at that limit to where they're not paying $90 million for the player. They were never going $42 million. But what the Mets did was smart. They knew that the Phillies weren't going to be able to do it. You would have had to trade because I don't know if anybody asked him about Bohm because Dombrowski talked for a while. Nate did a good job cutting it down. Because the other question is, you were ready to trade Alec Bohm. Are you keeping Alec Bohm still? They would have had to move Alec Bohm. They might have had to move another salary. Mundo Sosa's making $4.4 million. Would they have tried to move him just to free up some space to where you can do something else? But they were, and it's hitting me right now, the Dodgers probably would have came over the top and offered more money than the Phillies could have offered for Bichette.
Yeah, and it's 7 for $200 is great unless he was not interested in being somewhere for 7 years without an opt-out.
If he didn't get the Mets and the Dodgers, they asked him, I think it was Todd that asked him, Todd's lucky to ask him, did you feel like you were being used? If the Mets and the Dodgers, if the Mets don't come in that offer, Bichette's a Philly. Using it is using to go somewhere else. In other words, oh yeah, Phillies, I'd love to come to you guys. All right, where's the other offer? The minute we had said it all along, it's going to go to the best offer. He's not coming to Philadelphia because Mattingly and the fans and the ownership and whatever.
Baseball.
He's looking for the biggest and best contract that he can get, and that's what he elected to take.
Yeah, and it's also in there, Dombrowski saying, and this is something that we went back and forth on, how would they be able to do it? Would they be able to do it? They were never going to do both. JT would not be a Philly.
No.
There's no world. So I'm glad that could be dispelled one final time.
He did say at this time or something like that, where it's still very unlikely, but I guess maybe if there was a
evaporation of interest that was not already there.
I read yesterday that the Rays were interested. See, that's the thing that bothers me is that I very much believe in the market is what the market is. Right? Like the market sets itself. JT went out and tried to establish a market, which he had problems doing.
Yep.
And the Phillies had this offer that nobody else was coming close to in years or in probably dollars. If the Phillies would have signed JT, I'm sure that if the Phillies would have signed Bo Bichette, I'm sure there would have been a team that came in and offered him a 2-year contract. Maybe it's 220, 2 for 24, something like that. JT's still a good player, right? Mediocre offensively, but still, I still value JT Realmuto on the Phillies. He wasn't getting a 3-year contract. So what you've now done is that you've ensured that in that third year, you're going to have a 38-year-old catcher to where in 3 years, maybe you don't want to be paying a catcher $15 million a year. And you want to use that money for a position player or a starting pitcher or a bullpen, maybe another catcher. So that's a big mistake. You didn't have to do that. You can still negotiate. You go back and say, all right, JT, we didn't get Bo. We're still interested in you. We got to figure out a contract. Because as far as I know, there's nobody out there reporting there was another team that was primed to jump in and take him.
Right.
And if they did, so what? Go sign another catcher.
And that's kind of where it comes down to is they talked about the gut punch being upset and taking that time period. 90 minutes. It went, you're not getting Bichette. Bichette's signing with the Mets. Okay. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Mr. Middleton. It's your buddy Dave over here. I'm not going to be able to sign Bo. But we still have a good club, and I think we can run it back with JT. So we're going to go try and do that. All right, thanks.
He admitted it was very quick.
Yeah. What's up, Cotto? I know. Sorry. You were hanging out with your fiance. I'm sorry she hasn't got much of your time this year. But, hey, Cotto, we got JT signed up for 3 for 45. Oh, really? You're going to really try and get me to 3 for 60? Here's some ridiculous incentives. All right, let's sign the contract.
Deal done.
Deal done. That's what it was.
Well, they went up a couple million to 15 a year,
right,
and they added the incentives. And they wisely took it. JT lucked into this contract.
Yep.
Because the Phillies missed out on Bichette, and the Phillies were I just can't believe they willingly gave him more money in more years than they needed to. What would have happened if they would have said, we're offering you 2 for 24? What would he have said? He's not getting a better deal than that.
But he would have waited.
Well, he might have been waiting a long time for a 1-year contract.
Yeah, he would have waited, and maybe for him it would have worked out where if he went 1 for 12, maybe he has a good year somewhere, or there's, somebody's pitching staff drops a whole number in ERA. Like, I don't know. Just listen to that. Everything that we're upset about, I'm upset about again.
Right. Yeah, agreed.
It's like, all right. And it goes back to if they had just signed him in December. If they had signed him at 3 for 45 in December, I would have been mad because I would have been like, this is a ridiculous use of resources, and I probably would have been upset in January when Bichette wasn't signed, or Bregman until he got signed, the whole Tucker thing. Like, I would have been upset, but you at least never would have given me the reality, because I stood on that side for a long time. This isn't happening, and then finally I was broken by this, where I was like, oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. He basically feels like a Philly. Thursday, I was like, yeah, it feels like he's a Philly, and Friday we're doing the he's a Met thing. They tried.
We had those couple hours, man.
Right.
We had that day.
We'll always have that day.
We will. When Bo Bichette, who's the top 5 almost Philadelphia athletes? Frank Gore is the first one you think of.
Yeah, almost a Philly athlete. Bichette.
Andrew Bynum never played a game for the Sixers.
Well, he was a pretty elite bowler around here, so that should count for something.
And he was a good drag racer on Delaware Avenue.
Yeah, okay. So there you go. He did do some athletic things here.
That's something good for the text line in the YouTube chat. Almost Philadelphia athletes.
Almost Philadelphia.
Bo Bichette.
There's a lot of random role players in the NBA that I always anticipated would be traded here that never were. Like Eric Gordon was an almost Sixer until he was a Sixer.
Yeah.
And I almost prefer that he would be an almost Sixer to what his Sixer time has been.
Yeah, there are players that we probably think played for a team that didn't because we talked about it so many times.
Yeah. There was 3 or 4 years there. You just fire up the NBA trade deadline. It's like, oh, yeah, this name's available again. Let's see if they end up trading for it.
All right. Well, anybody want to react to Dave Dombrowski? 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Now it's Tuesday. It's like the day after an Eagles loss. Everybody's pissed.
Yep.
And then you kind of calm down by Tuesday, and then by Wednesday you're like, all right, let's move on. People still pissed about Bo Bichette. I'm not even mad about Bo Bichette. I'm not mad at the Phillies for missing out on Bo Bichette. They did what they could do. I'm not going to call him cheap or anything like that. I feel like now more than I've ever felt, he was never going to be a Philly because the Dodgers would just swoop in and grab him, or Toronto might have came back and gotten him and offered more money than the Phillies were going to be able to do.
Also love the always wanted JT back.
Oh, no, always, never a doubt. Never
Always
a doubt.
wanted JT back. Yeah, of course.
And answer a simple question. Is this team as good now as it was when it ended the season last year? Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. Don't go anywhere.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Philly sports appears to be back. I'm Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. Sixers defeated the Pacers 113-104 Monday night. Tyrese Maxey, 29 points and 8 steals, a career high, to prove why he is an all-star this year. Maxey spoke about how he feels about being selected to that all-star team for the second time.
I feel good. I feel really good, man. I'm thankful to the fans, thankful to the media, players, everybody who voted in me, and I'm just happy. This means that we're winning games and we're trending in the right direction.
Sixers will look to keep it rolling against the Suns starting at 7 p.m. You can listen to that live right here on the Fanatic. Flyers defeated the Golden Knights 2-1 with the help of Travis Konechny, who scored both goals for the team, including the goal to secure the game. Fly Guys have off tonight, but will travel to Utah to take on the Mammoth Wednesday night. Phillies designated infielder Weston Wilson for assignment this morning to make room for the newly re-signed JT Realmuto on the 40-man roster. Also in baseball news, Hall of Fame election will be announced at 6 p.m. Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, some of the former Phillies that could cement their name in Cooperstown. This update is brought to you by IHOP. IHOP Values Menus is here. Enjoy breakfast favorites like pancakes, eggs, and bacon, French toast with sausage, or cheesy omelet with pancakes, all just for $6. Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP value menu. I'm Patricia Caputo on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
You have to take your time potting that down, right? Like let it
You want a little longer?
let it disappear in your headphones, right? Bring it down, Reggae Tuesday, so it's going to be Patricia Caputo producing. It's going to be Nate Tennyson, our associate producer, also mixing in there. And then Dutsy. Brendan Dutz is going to also do it.
But we're also working on the Dutzinator, where he just comes in and just gives us like an absolute legendary take and then just
freaks out and leaves.
Yeah.
It's time for the Dutzinator with the percolator theme behind him.
I'm excited for this. Are you going to do that? You going to do another song for us in that one?
Of course.
All right. Fantastic.
It's time for the Dustinator. It's time for the Dustinator.
While we're doing Reggae Tuesday here, I actually went by the Bob Marley studio. We were in the Bahamas back in November. It's now an Airbnb.
Really?
Yes. You could stay at the Bob Marley studios.
Does it come, everything included, like batteries included?
Yeah, I was curious. I didn't know how to approach that topic with the guy driving us around as we were going, but like he was bumping the Bob Marley. He's like, oh, yeah, that's where his studio was in the Bahamas. It's an Airbnb now. And I was like, is there smoke coming out of there? Is there
no smoke?
Any indication that maybe, might be able to enjoy an afternoon there?
So that's on a Tuesday. Jason Bertina's going to be in tomorrow, but we're working on something for Wednesdays. Sean Brace Monday, Thursday, Friday, and it's a Reggae Tuesday. So Ray and then rotating producers. We get Ray out of the cage. All right?
For a little bit.
For at least a day.
We enjoy the rotating thing here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We like it. All right. So that's that. The Phillies, we have some text messages. We have some reaction. Let's get to Gary. Gary in Jersey has his reaction to Dave Dombrowski in the Phillies offseason. Go ahead, Gary. Good morning.
Hey, John. How you guys doing? First time calling into your show. Really like it during the day. I'm on the road, so it's nice to hear you guys, especially getting some Phillies talk.
Cool.
Wish it were a little bit better.
Yeah.
But so I know a lot of you guys are saying, you're not really blaming the Phillies or you don't blame Dombrowski. They tried. My main thing that I've really been hammering on is I feel like I blame them for their overall vision and the way they let this thing go. I feel like the plan all offseason was, Schwarber, which they knew they were going to do, and then it was the 35-year-old catcher. We got to bring him back. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, we fell into a 27-year-old all-star that we were willing to give $7,200. Like, that should have been the priority. And if he was going to wait for the Mets or the Dodgers, then you pivot to Bregman. Like, clearly they had the money, they had the ability. They just decided to kind of wait on their own terms. And you knew that once Kyle Tucker signed, one of those two teams was going to make a big splash. They were going to overdo, and they needed to do something. You don't let them get to that point. You don't let it get to a point to have them be lost. That's Dave's problem. He even said, we didn't get the memo signed. That's malpractice. That's your job, is to get that signed, is to get the player in. And I feel like that's the way he's been. It's kind of like we'll take what happens and what comes to our, what lands at our feet instead of being the aggressor.
Yeah, and Gary, it's a really good call. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. When I say I don't blame the Phillies, I don't look at John Middleton and say, you cheap SOB, how can you not do that? They spend more than enough money. Right. They spent $370 million last year with luxury tax, and they're spending again. They'll spend similar money this year. I can't blame them for not going over what they said they can spend. They spend plenty of money. The blame lies within Dave Dombrowski and what you're talking about, the vision. Why wasn't, hey, you know what, JT, I don't know if we want you back because there's other players out there that make us better. Why weren't they targeting Bregman earlier? Why weren't they targeting Bo Bichette earlier? Would you agree that the offseason plan was Schwarber, Real Muto will try to trade Bohm? Again, for the second straight year, it was, we'll see what we can get for Bohm, and then maybe we can get Bohm, and we get this good player for Bohm. What else were they going to do this offseason?
What it is it's a little difficult to thread the needle here. Like, if we trade Bohm, who are we going to have at third?
We have a good club.
Right. If we move on from Stott, who do we have at second? And also, if we move on from Stott, how does our first baseman feel about that? If we make these moves, if JT walks, what are we going to do? Like, it was almost like it's just easier to bring everybody back. Let's remember, we won 96 games.
We have a good club.
It's a shame to see Ranger Suarez go. But, Dave Roberts told a few people that he was really, really concerned about their ability to beat us. And let's forget about the fact the Blue Jays almost beat them, too. And has it stopped the Blue Jays from improving their club? Has it stopped the Blue Jays from trying to go into this offseason and make changes to the core of that group?
And the Blue Jays have a good club, like the Phillies.
That's the thing.
They have a good club.
It's like, okay, after 2022, you go get Turner. It's all right. There's something for you. And if you come back that year, maybe if Reese does tear his ACL at spring training, who knows what exactly they have moving parts, the way the sliding doors moment of what happens with that team and where Harper is with all this. But all right, you could tell me after 2022, getting Turner, they signed Taiwan because they want rotation depth.
And what a bad signing that it was.
That ended up being a mistake. So you made additions there, but you started to max yourself out. After 2023, you're like, well, this team is hungry to get back and avenge what they did wrong. All right, let's go see what 2024 is like. And then you see the way 2024 falls off. It's like, all right, at this point, you have to shock the system. Like, at some point, you have to shock the system. All right, you don't do it after 2024, 2025. Now we see the money coming off the books. You know what we're going to do with that money that's coming off the books? Reinvest it right back to the money that was coming off the books. Save Ranger Suarez. It's like, there is no shock to this system. They are anticipating that Crawford and Painter bring a youthful energy to this group that is shocking to the system.
They literally are just like, well, we can't do anything else.
Right.
Like, this is all we can do. And that's such a loser mentality way of looking at it.
Yeah, it's just, you've put yourself in the corner, and what you've accepted is, I'm going to stand here in the corner. So
Pretty much.
I'm not going to battle out of this corner. It's a lot easier to stand here.
Well, I mean, they still are a good team. You just have to really believe, and this is the problem with Dombrowski being in baseball for so long.
Right.
You heard him talking about it during the press conference. It was like, oh, this has happened a lot to me in my career. He's in his 70s, right?
Yep.
And, like, he's been in baseball for probably 40-plus years. So he's been there, done that with a lot of different things. And, yeah, you could come back with the same team, and you could catch lightning in a bottle, and everything seems to go right. Like, last year they traded for Bader. That was a really good acquisition. Now he got hurt. But everything could come together, and you could go on one of these runs. What's far more likely that happens, though? That you don't catch lightning in a bottle and you don't go on one of those runs.
They want to show up to the dance and everything's going to work out for them. Why get the haircut? Why dress nice? Just show up.
The Phillies window, it's not closed, but since I'll say the Diamondback series, it's been closing. Bryce Harper's getting older. Schwarber had a career year last year, but he's getting older. The window's closing. And instead of doing something to stop that window from closing and maybe opening it up a little bit, but at the very least say, hey, we're not letting it close anymore, they didn't do anything about it.
They're ensuring that we have fun in July just at the expense of whether or not we'll actually get to run through things in October. This is a team that in July, I'm sure, as we get close to the trade deadline, if they had this, if they had that, hey, you never know when they get to the postseason. Like, that's what this is. This is on July 17th when when the Blue Jays roll into town. It's a big series. These two sides, if things work out for them, they could end up matching up in the World Series. Boom. Hit a home run off of this reliever that's going to be left off of the postseason roster for the Blue Jays. Oh, awesome. The Phillies have taken 2 or 3 from Toronto. This is great, guys. Woo! Like, that's what they've done. They have decided that we're going to ensure the summer's a good time. They have a good club. And
they sell a lot of tickets. People go to the ballpark. We enjoy it.
And when October comes around, you live on the fine line of the postseason because they know they'll be there, and they know that, hey, if they pass just a little bit, if Turner throws it to one side of home plate, if
you get lucky, that's his mentality. He said that at the end of the season.
I'm going to spend a lot of money to make sure that we win 90 games. And when you win 90 games, you show up in the playoffs, and if things get rolling for you the right way in the playoffs, you end up winning.
They haven't fixed the problem with the team.
And the issue here is, to me, with the signings like AAV from like 5th highest contract to like 9 on the team, you haven't spent that money wisely. That money right now looks like it's a waste of contracts. I'm not talking the Schwarbers, the Turners, the Harpers, the Wheeler, like that top, that's fine. Beyond that, what you've spent, you're probably not getting what you paid for. On top of that, the margin additions, your Tommy Edmonds of the world, your guys that the Dodgers bring in and that you forget about because they spend $1 gajillion on the good guys, they haven't hit on those either.
No.
And is Garcia going to be that for you? That's what they're hoping. Like, is Brad Keller going to be that shutdown reliever you need? That's what they're hoping.
That's what they're hoping. Yep. Hayes didn't work out. Bader did. Kepler didn't.
Right.
is Garcia going to work out this year?
And what they'll tell you is Bader worked out, but you can't forecast injury. So that was,
Yeah, but he's always been injured. But he's always been injured.
But that's what they'll tell you. We put
I know.
ourselves in a position.
All right, coming up, the almost Philadelphia athlete list coming up.
We got some good ones.
I have some good ones coming in. 610-632-0975. News at noon with Patricia Caputo coming up. I can't wait for that. Matt from Pottstown will lead off with you on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. I got to talk about my good friends over at Morgenstern Hair Restoration. All right, so this is the same hair team that I've known for, I would like to say a decade, but it's more than that. Going on 15 years. Because my hairline was always like, eh. You know, a lot of guys, when they enter their 30s, you start receding hairline. I remember I went from one license picture to the next. I got a new license picture. And I looked at my hairline. I was like, wow, I've lost a lot of hair over the last couple of years. And that's when I did something about it. And I went to Morgenstern Hair Restoration. Same hair team that I used again for 15 years. They can get your hair back. It's that simple. I like to keep things simple in life. Keep it simple, stupid. You can get your hair back, and you can do it with Morgenstern Hair Restoration. So, like hair transplants, right now offering $500 off for new patients. But maybe your existing hair, you're like, you know what? Like, I like my hair right now. I just don't want to lose anymore. Morgenstern Hair Restoration is there for you. And if you are balding and you're like, hey, you know what? I hear Mark's talking about the hair transplant. I'm telling you, if you're watching on YouTube right now, look at my results. My hairline's amazing. You can get your hairline back. New year, new hairline. Experience you can trust, results that you can see. I can't lie about this. Go to my Instagram page. Look at my hair. It is fantastic. Every treatment plan is personalized with natural-looking results designed to last. Call their office, speak to their hair team, tell them that I sent you. 610-831-HAIR. You can remember that. 610-831-HAIR or the website morgensternhair.com. That's Morgan with an E, morgensternhair.com.
The Sixers core.
Reggae Tuesday. Man, you found every reggae song and then some, Patricia Caputo.
I got a lineup now.
Thank you.
I know some good songs here.
It's all Marley, though.
Yeah. All right. That's probably why.
I'll get a different one.
No, you're good. You're good.
A different person.
Keep rolling on the Marley.
I got one. I got a lineup now in my head.
You do?
Yeah.
Good producer in there.
Great producer.
Some are saying that maybe she's the best producer on the show. Some people in the chat.
Warmer seat, Sirianni or Ray Dunn? 610-632-0975.
YouTube chat has already chimed in on that. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for watching on the YouTube chat. Make sure you subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic on YouTube. We're almost at 31,000.
Yeah, I saw that.
So we went up 1,000 in a very short period of time.
It's just pretty good.
It is good. We've made some real progress on that. So we appreciate it. We hope everybody's enjoyed watching not only the on-air stuff that you can go back and watch,
right?
But also we're doing a lot of off-air stuff too. That's good.
I want to do like an off-air thing where we just SEO farm, where it's just like the 3 trending topics of the week, and it's just me with the title Ray Dunn on blank blank blank,
and then people tune in because it's you're tricking the algorithm.
Yes. Like the not sports related, like the Fanatic,
right?
Fanatics Plus, or
so you talked the ice incident up in Minneapolis.
No, probably won't do that.
Okay.
Probably not that. Only Fanatics, actually, is what I was thinking about for this. Only Fanatics, and it's the top 3 SEO things, non-world issue focus. More of the entertainment I was thinking on that.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's a good idea, right?
Thank you. And
by the way,
my contribution.
Get your if you can't listen live, you can always check out the podcast, and so check it out wherever you find your podcast. Search Middays with Marks. Leave a nice 5-star review. I saw a new 5-star review that was given.
Was that the one I thought it was yesterday?
Correct. And then there was a 1-star review that I believe was just an updated 1-star review from that joker that called me a narcissist.
Yes.
Because he ripped me again.
Yeah, and you see the screen name that person's using?
Hollis Thompson.
That's hilarious.
Well, it shows you why he hates me, because the whole process 76ers, like, that defines him. So I'll just leave it at that. He's defined by being a process 76er.
You're anti-Hollis Thompson, man? I mean, this Hollis Thompson.
Well, I'm not. My screen name's not Hollis Thompson.
What? So what if I'm Isaiah Cannon, man?
Well, you guys didn't grow up with AOL, so I don't know. Like, I'm not that masquerading around as Hollis Thompson.
Well, yeah, or the people on social media, like
Loser.
their name is like hashtag fire Sirianni or like
hashtag fire Patullo, who got fired. So
hashtag fire Ray Dunn. Like, those people really drive me nuts.
You got hashtag Ray Dunn? Fired Ray Dunn?
I haven't seen it yet, but
that's my burner account. Come on, Ray.
See?
You know what?
I've been telling you.
I do have AOL, though.
You still?
100%. My old email, yeah, and it's a fake name that I can't give away.
Yeah, don't give it out on the air.
I can't.
But they don't have the whole instant messenger. They deleted all.
Yeah, they took that away.
Which I'm too old for. I never actually had the instant messenger, but I had the AOL.
Yeah,
which Mike uses his AOL.
Really?
Email address. Yeah, I'll get an email from him, and it's his old AOL address.
What email did I use with him?
I don't know. He still has it. I won't give that on the air.
That's where my spams go now. You know, when I sign up for something, I'm like, I don't know if I really want this. You do the
send
AOL
it to that because you don't care if it. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure a very, very
good idea.
No, never mind. I was gonna say he uses Gmail. I was gonna say a very
does he have a Gmail?
broadcaster uses, but that's a Gmail.
Al Michaels?
Yeah. It's a great name. It's
I won't say it.
Yeah, no, we can't say it. That would be bad.
I won't say it.
That'd be bad.
I know it as well.
He's got another year of Amazon.
I know what's the Jason Whitlock. I know his email address.
Oh,
by
do
heart.
you?
Yeah. Because back in the day, I used to be able to email him, and I get him on whenever I wanted to.
Not doing that anymore?
I just don't want him on anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, back then when he was interesting, it's like, oh, well, like he's got good opinions and stuff. Now I just don't want him on.
Yeah, understand.
Let's go to Matt in Pottstown. Matthew, how are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm good, Johnny. Glad you're back. You embrace at times. I love it. And in spirit of Reggae Tuesday, let's just say the Phillies are a bunch of bummerclots. So let's just start there.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Phillies, again, it's hard to. I'm in the camp where you guys are. I never felt like Bo Bichette was a guarantee. I always felt like somebody was going to pull the rug out from under us at some point. There just didn't. You knew that somebody was going to come with the money in the less years that was going to steal them, and you can't blame him. I look back all the way to like the time of Jason Worth. Like people were mad with Jason Worth, but you couldn't be because there's no way you're going to turn down the money that the Nationals were throwing at him. So we don't like it, but you can't be mad at the guy. And I kind of feel the same way about Bo Bichette here. He's still going to get ripped when he comes.
Yep.
That's a given, but you can't blame the guy. But when I look at us overall, I mean, you look at, okay, I'm more in the camp now of, all right, let's re-scramble. What do we do now? Like, there's talk of Cody Bellinger. There's talk of Valdez, trying to go get those pieces. I don't know. I think maybe Brendan Donovan might be an option out there. But again, then what are we doing? What are we doing with Stott? Like, and then there's also the third baseman that's out, Suarez. Like, I kind of want to know, what are we doing with Stott and Bohm at this point? Because you got to figure, if Bichette was coming here, somebody was moving in one way or another. So to me, I want to look internally. What are we doing with the Stott and Bohm situation?
They're staying.
And then look outwardly.
They're staying.
Yeah, they're going to stay now, right? But
the civil authorities have issued a required monthly test for all of New Jersey beginning at 10:50 a.m. and ending at 12:50 p.m. The New Jersey Office of Emergency Management is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. Had this been an actual emergency, the attention signal you have just heard would have been followed by official information or instructions. This concludes the test of the emergency alert system.
let's just see where it goes. But I'm at this point, you can't cry over what we didn't have. So the Bo Bichette thing, I'm over it now. I want to move forward with what are we doing now, and let's get after it.
All right, Matt. Good to talk to you, buddy. I would assume that this is the team. Sure, they can make a trade at the trade deadline. I think that what you have to look forward to is getting to the trade deadline and then the Phillies making moves.
Right. At the trade deadline for the, third straight year?
They're going to be looking for an outfielder probably.
I think they might need a right-handed bat to platoon with Brandon Marsh in left field.
Other than that, the team is what it is. They're not. We were saving this, and we'll play the sound for Framber Valdez. They're not signing any other major free agents. Dombrowski said as much when he spoke. It's the reason why they offered Bichette what they offered him is that's the most they can offer him. They weren't offering any more money or any more money per year. So they're not going to go out and sign a $25 million a year player.
They fell backwards into this.
They did.
They fell backwards into interest in Bichette.
All right, almost Philadelphia athletes. My buddy Gabe sent me Danny Granger.
Oh, good one.
Good one.
Why he got dealt and then never showed.
AK-47 did the same thing.
Yes.
Kirilenko
also
he got dealt, and they're like, yeah, you don't have to report.
Right. That was a great, that was like almost the best thing that could happen to a veteran at that time. Get traded to the Sixers. Your contract's going to get bought out, and then you can just go do whatever
you want.
Yeah.
You can play for another team. You can retire. You can just sit the rest of the year out.
Correct. You probably get a good, like, Hinkie or Sixers, that era story that someone will end up wanting years from now.
So we have some other almost. This is on the text line, Trish. Tracy McGrady?
Yes.
Almost a Sixer? Was that a potential trade with AI?
I would imagine, yeah.
Justin Jefferson?
Great one.
Almost an Eagle. Russell Wilson?
DK Metcalf would follow that same.
DK Metcalf? Kurt Flood? So Russell Wilson, they would have drafted him if he was there. And also, they were trying to trade for him.
Which is one of the great. Oh, yeah, we obviously were in on Russell Wilson. Like, when did that come out? Like, right after he
told Daniel Jeremiah that he told the Eagles, he's like, you better draft me and I'm going to win a championship for you. But then the Seahawks jumped up ahead of the Eagles and took him, and the Eagles had to take Nick Foles.
Ended up.
As the story goes.
Yeah.
Well, and then he came back and he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yes. Do you have any other ones over there or no?
Yeah, that's just what I had on the text line there. The Justin Jefferson one, the Russell Wilson. That made me think of Metcalf.
Mike Gill says Jamal Mashburn, same thing, and Bogut. Both those guys never reported.
Wow, that's a good.
You could do a whole
your
Sixers
starting
team,
five, of Sixers that were never Sixers.
All right, coming up, the news at noon. Trish, what do you have for us today?
We got some football talk, a lot of podcasts, I'll be honest.
Oh, we love podcasts talk.
Something about college football, what happened last night.
Okay. All right.
Big
Fun
college
stuff.
football fan, too.
Big college football fan.
LSU.
Great game last night. Miami came back.
Yeah.
It was a good game. Good
Lost
second
sleep
half.
over it.
All right. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Philadelphia sports appears to be back. I'm Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. Sixers defeated the Pacers 113-104 Monday night. Tyrese Maxey, 29 points and 8 steals in the win to prove why he is an all-star again this year. Sixers will look to keep it rolling against the Suns starting at 7 p.m. You can listen to that live right here on The Fanatic. Fly Guys defeated the Knights 2-1 Monday night, breaking a 6-game losing streak. The team will have off tonight, but will travel to Utah to take on the Mammoth Wednesday night. Phillies designated infielder Weston Wilson for assignment this morning to make room for the newly re-signed JT Realmuto on the 40-man roster. Scott Lauber spoke this morning to the morning show about where the team stands at this point in the offseason.
I think we can have a legitimate debate about are they better today than they were at the end of the Dodger series. I do think that they are still one of the top handful of teams, less than that, in the National League and should be back there.
In other baseball news, Hall of Fame election will be announced at 6 p.m. Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, just some of the former Phillies that could cement their name in Cooperstown. This update is brought to you by AppleVacations.com. Is more travel a part of your New Year's resolutions? Apple Vacations can help. Save up to 40% on flight and motel vacation packages now through February 2nd. Visit AppleVacations.com. I'm Patricia Caputo on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Did I tell you about the deal of the week? You a skier, Ray?
No.
Not at all?
I would love to learn.
So you never went skiing?
Never once, no.
Well, here's a good opportunity for you. The Fanatic deal of the week. Open to close lift ticket to Camelback Mountain, $40. 12 hours to enjoy 39 trails, full night skiing, and high-speed lifts at the largest ski resort in the Poconos. Get the deal while supplies last. 975thefanatic.com/deals. I think it's $55.
I think it's 40.
Well, no, I'm saying the regular ticket retail price is $55. You're getting it for 40. The deal of the week.
Learning.
I saw 80, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, they also
because I tried to go.
They also sometimes they do dynamic pricing.
You know what? Maybe they bumped it up for the holiday.
They do.
Yeah.
Because when I went tubing with the kids, when we got the tickets, it was a price. And then we looked, so it's like, oh, another family wants to go. And it was like double.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So, but if you brought it separately, could you both get the deal? Would you have to do it like that?
With this, well, I think like for the deal of the week, it's just you can get as many as you want for 40.
But for them,
because it was like we planned in advance, we were going tubing on this date, and then we got it, and then a couple days before, we had the family being like, "Oh,
that sounds fun.
That sounds like fun. Can we go?" And it's like, "Well, yeah." And then I just went and looked, and I'm like, "Oh, it's
scarcity right
no
there."
No thanks, you actually can't come.
It's like buying an airline ticket.
Yeah, it's there's only so many people that can fit at a certain time.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, I learned that one in economics. I was more of a tubing guy. I could do the tubing thing. The problem is skiing. It's like I just don't know if I have the. I'll say it, the athleticism to pull that off.
You don't need to be that.
You could probably do snowboarding.
No, you would need to be more coordinated.
Yeah, but I'm not coordinated, and I did snowboarding, and my friend's pretty good, and he was like, I'm actually surprised how well you did. Like, I'm pretty bad.
Did you skateboard?
Yeah, I skateboarded when I was a
that's
kid,
why.
on a penny board.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's why I liked it. I think skiing, it wouldn't work.
I was a skier. I went with my dad as like you don't get when you're a little kid, they don't give you poles because they're just more of a hindrance than anything else. So you learn without poles. So I was a little kid learning how to ski, so I know how to ski well. I tried snowboarding once when it became the thing to do, and I probably did it for 2 runs, and I was horrible, and I'm out. Because I can ski well. I want to spend an entire day trying to learn how to snowboard when I'm a great skier.
That's also kind of the problem I think I'd run into, where I would ski probably like twice. I'd be terrible at it. Be like, hey, the lodge is over there, right? Bar's open. All right, yeah, I'm down. I'll meet you guys where it's warm. Like
I will admit, I don't know about you, Marks, but you might need a day off the day after.
Yeah.
I have never been in more pain in my life than the first time I went.
Knees or just
everything? Everything. I think my body was just inflamed from every time I fell.
And I'm a kind of a control freak, so I feel like going down the hill without knowing like how to do what I'm doing probably is not like the best for me. My dad was a big skier. He actually went up to school in Rhode Island. He went to Bryant University. It was Bryant College at the time because he wanted to ski board. He wanted to get more of that experience. As the story goes, he met my mom, never went skiing again. But
I was going to say, he didn't take you?
He loved skiing, and then, again, as the story goes, met my mom. And
he never went skiing again.
He's done
They
skiing.
didn't go together?
Well, it's like, I guess you didn't want to.
I don't know. I'm not a good journalist on that one. I didn't really follow up with questions.
It's like with fishing, people ask me, like, you've never been fishing. It's like, no, my dad wasn't a fisherman. So you went fishing.
I went fishing plenty of times.
I never really did.
Yeah.
My grandfather took me once, and then that was pretty much it, so it was a horrible experience. But, I never went fishing. But my dad was a skier, so I used to go skiing all the time with my dad.
That makes sense. My dad was a skier, stopped skiing, still a fisherman. I've been fishing, never been skiing.
Well, how come he didn't stop fishing? Did your mom tell him he couldn't go skiing?
Well, he worked down the shore over summer, so the fishing thing kind of went with being down the shore.
Okay.
So he kept with that. But I guess Bryant College, I guess, is a great time. I don't know.
I have a friend who just graduated from there. I don't think he's ever
Go
skied
Bulldogs.
there once.
Yeah, apparently people go up there and it's like, oh yeah, you could ski up there.
Really?
I guess. I don't know.
The mountainous Rhode Island? I didn't know that there were big mountains in Rhode Island.
Neither did I. I still haven't found them. The one time we went up there to visit.
But then did you surf in the summer, Ray? Or was
Surf?
it just fishing?
No. Yeah, I fish and I'll just lay on a beach. There's
right.
maybe a boogie board when I was younger, but yeah, surfing, it comes to the coordination. I got a friend who lives in San Diego. It's like, oh yeah, you come out and go do surfing. That's fine. I'll watch.
It feels like you're floating, though. It is an experience.
Yeah, I'll be floating for half a second, then I'll crash.
You can have fun doing it.
Practice.
You'll be good. All right, well, again, 975thefanatic.com/deals to get the Fanatic deal of the week. It's time for the news at noon.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
the news at noon
That's the coolest story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
with Ray Dunn.
All right, Patricia Caputo here. Obviously, Ray is also here, but we're in different seats today. With that being said, let's get started. College football talk. I know when Nick Saban first joined College Game Day, there was talks about, is he really going to be good enough? Is he going to have a personality for this?
Will he say anything?
Will he say anything?
Yeah.
But finally, yesterday, I mean, we've had a few things here and there, but I feel last night, right before the game started, he finally poked some fun within the show. And it was when Stanford Steve was giving his 6-point in-game teaser Right. Maybe you'll understand this more because you bet, but nobody actually on the panel understood it, and neither did Nick Saban. Take a listen.
You're going to take Indiana, who was 7.5, knock them down to 1.5, and then we're going to take the over that was 46.5, move it up to 52.5. So we got to go under 52.5. Indiana minus 1.5. It's a little minus price.
Can you please explain to?
All I'm doing is taking 6 points and adding them to the spread in our favor.
Yeah. Okay.
But we have to win both bets.
It is a lot easier to call 4th and 4 to win the game than listen to you.
Maybe Indiana said the same thing to themselves. What was it, 4th and 12, I think they called it. Then maybe they were listening to that. And said, let's go for it.
Now, they have to, because everybody bets, so you got to bring on, he gives the bet or whatever. I understood what he was doing and saying, but I didn't, nobody else on the panel, I'm not surprised. Maybe McAfee, I would have thought.
For sure.
Would understand, but Saban doesn't.
That's what I think he said what he said. He was the one who was like, can you explain to everybody? And everyone on there was confused, and then Saban came in with
But
that.
you also have, you have to explain it in layman's terms to
Person
somebody.
at home.
Why you're able to do 6 and you're able to move the over under 6 and the point spread 6 points.
Yeah, I don't care if Saban understands it. It's whether or not Nick from Collegeville sitting at home understands it.
Right.
Like that's more the concern for me. Like you want to feel if Saban's sitting up there clueless, that's great. Then he could throw off one of those jokes. But Stanford Steve, I'm a fan of the guy. Like, come on, Stanford Steve, you got to explain that one a little bit for the people at home.
A little bit better. Yeah, it's McAfee was almost helping him out by saying, explain what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, the degenerate gets it, but the guy that's going to throw $5 on his sportsbook of choice maybe needs a little bit more.
Yeah, I had a few friends who I don't think they got it.
I think most of the audience would probably lost in there. I don't know. Have teasers hit the mainstream?
Not like that.
Not like that. I don't think
not
so.
like that. No.
There's probably a couple of my friends that were like, "Oh, that's not a bad bet. I'm going to throw that down right now."
Right. All right. Next thing, moving on. Got a podcast, per usual, Debo and Joe. I've never listened to this podcast, but last night it caught my attention because they're talking about Mike Tomlin. You got Harrison on there, James Harrison, Joe Hayden, talking about should Mike Tomlin belong in the Hall of Fame? And there's always this discussion with Nick Sirianni here. Does he belong in the Hall of Fame? All of this. James Harrison was like, no way Mike Tomlin belongs in the Hall of Fame. And it's truthfully more because of the people surrounding him rather than Mike Tomlin himself. Take a listen.
Is Coach T a Hall of Fame coach, in your opinion?
No.
Okay, so now that's actually crazy.
The thing I can't give him a Hall of Fame coach for is because he hasn't made disciples. You're telling me you're a Hall of Fame coach, but no one has followed you. No one has
for sure.
line with you. That can't be the thing. He's the only coach that has coached this long and does not have a tree, bro.
I'm not going to not give him the Hall of Fame nod because he's bad at hiring offensive coordinators.
And you think that is a thing that he's bad at doing, or do you think that is a thing that he purposely does to keep position and power?
Oh. So that's James Harrison and Joe Hayden.
Yes. I didn't agree with the last part, that he's trying to keep power.
Yeah, I think that it's difficult as a defensive coach to have a tree because typically there's more offensive coaches than defensive coaches, head coaches, right? So if you're Andy Reid, you can have offensive coordinators that get hired. If you're Sean McVay, you can have offensive coordinators that get hired. If you're Nick Sirianni, you can have offensive coordinators that get hired. Mike Tomlin as a CEO head coach, I don't know. I mean, who are the coaches that coached under him that became head coaches?
I mean, it's a fair assessment in that case. Like, his coaching tree doesn't come to mind.
The guy in Cincinnati, but he was like before that wasn't a product of Mike Tomlin. What's his name? The old Blitzburg defensive coordinator, old guy that went to Cincinnati. I'm blanking on his name right now, and he did not have a ton of success. Like John Harbaugh, who's on his tree?
Right. That's exactly where I was going. I'm listening to that. Right now, my entire thing was, hey, who's on Harbaugh's? Who's on Peyton's? Who's on Pete Carroll's? Like, we're talking how long you've been in the sport. Like, sure, you can point to that assistant worked for you at that time. Did that assistant? The coaching tree thing to me is a little overblown. I think we give it a little too much credit.
But it's almost always offense. It's Bill Walsh. Yeah. It's Mike Holmgren. It's Andy Reid. Because look at Belichick. Belichick had a tree. It's not a good tree.
No.
Romeo Crennel failed. Charlie Weiss was a disaster. Bill O'Brien had success a little bit in the NFL.
But, like, I'm sorry.
Josh McDaniels really has not had success.
He's top 10 all-time in wins, and because one of his assistants couldn't go become a great head coach somewhere else, that's why he's not a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, Bruce Arians who was a longtime coach, he was the offensive coordinator with Ben and went elsewhere and did win a Super Bowl.
But Bruce Arians' coaching career is all due to Mike Tomlin. Like, that's the thing with some of these coaching trees. Like, it's like, all right.
But isn't the coaching tree the philosophy of the coach?
Right.
So Bill Walsh, West Coast offense, coaching tree. Mike Holmgren, a disciple of Bill Walsh, coaching tree. Andy Reid, coaching tree. You're not going to have that with Mike Tomlin.
Correct.
You're not going to have that with John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh was a special teams coach except for 1 or 2 years.
And to the whole idea of the coaching tree here, where you're talking about Sirianni, like what? Is Kellen Moore a part of his coaching tree?
No.
That's what I mean. Like these coaching tree ideas to me, especially for a CEO coach like you're talking about, defensive-minded, Tomlin, like
Steichen,
I guess you give him credit.
Coaching tree.
Yeah, he was part of it. If Patullo had gotten a job, sure, Patullo. Like
Jonathan Gannon,
coaching tree.
Because they were his hires.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. What's with James Harrison all of a sudden, like having this out of nowhere?
Anti-Tomlin takes?
Yeah.
It's been more than one now.
It's been a lot.
Yeah.
What happened there? Is he just like, oh, I want to be accepted in Pittsburgh?
He might be on my list of people I can't listen to anymore. Like, LaShawn McCoy has joined the list. Cam Newton has been on that list for a while.
So Cam Newton, shady. Do you really listen to these podcasts?
On Twitter, it comes up. I don't listen to them, but just
They're
to
in your
hear
algorithm.
everything LaShawn McCoy says, I'm just like, please put a tariff on podcasting equipment or something. Like, I can't. It's just hard for me because it's just like, how do I poke fun at someone else when, look, great player when he played and everything,
Absolutely.
but to go out all the time and to judge everyone else for what's happening now, it's a little exhausting sometimes when no one can do anything right but him, clearly.
It's funny because I would wonder what like the mid 2010s, like what the 2000s players, if they were able to do podcasts in the mid 2010s, what they'd be saying about all that. Like Cam Newton didn't have to deal. He dealt with the talking heads on TV, but he didn't deal with everyone having a microphone in front of him.
Yeah, not like
LaShawn
this.
McCoy, everyone has a microphone in front of them.
By the way, Cam Newton had a chance to dive on a football in the Super Bowl and elected not to.
Correct.
And I think he spoke about it before, right? How he never hears the end of it.
Right.
So he's aware. At least he's self-aware. I'll give him that.
But imagine if that happened in today's
Imagine that happened in
society.
this town.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Donovan threw up at the Super Bowl. How many times have you heard that?
He did?
Yeah, exactly.
I hadn't heard that before.
If you had it right in front of you that Cam Newton had a football in front of him and he didn't dive on it, we never would have given that guy anything.
All right. Last one there,
All right.
Patricia.
I got one more. This is something that we all probably saw last night. But for the first time since I was 1 year old, LeBron James not selected as an NBA All-Star starter. 1 year old. I have never really watched a lot of games, All-Star games, without LeBron James in it. Twitter's going crazy.
As a starter. 2005, right? First time since 2005.
Yeah, 4, I think, right?
2004?
2003, he was drafted. He didn't get it, and then 4.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
Mhm.
And you know what? He doesn't deserve to be the starter. And you know what? Normally, it doesn't matter if you deserve to be the starter or not. When you're a guy like LeBron James, you remain the starter anyway.
No, I actually am on your side on this one because I also had the take of, what was it, the participation trophy All-Star nods where it's like, oh, the legacy All-Star things.
Sure.
These count for something. Like when they end up doing the Hall of Fame stuff and like basketball, it doesn't really matter. But baseball's been doing this like, oh, legacy, like, oh, here's an All-Star game for you because like Clayton Kershaw, like congrats on a long career. Here's an All-Star game for you so we can give you one more.
Right.
It's like, that counts. Some other guy's waiting for the Hall of Fame. It doesn't have an All-Star game. And some writer in a city that never saw him is going to be like, well, I guess it doesn't count for the Hall of Fame. Like, this, to me, for LeBron, like, it's not that big a deal.
No.
The bigger thing when it comes to the James family was I saw that Bronny got votes.
Well, I mean, like, come on.
I'm just saying.
Then that's somebody that's mocking the process.
That's
Well,
Bronny
it's
got
probably
votes.
14-year-old kid.
Got votes from what? Fans?
That's
a news
player
edition.
votes. Player votes to
Thank you,
start in the
Jess.
All-Star game.
Stop.
Bronny received player votes. I'm just
they're mocking the process.
Or it was 2 NBA players though.
Can LeBron vote
Could it have been LeBron and Bronny?
Could have been.
LeBron, AD or something?
Or someone afraid of Bron that Bron looked at him and said, "You better vote for Bronny."
Luka?
Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves, baby.
You like this LA lifestyle, man? You will vote for Bronny.
Rich Paul already said we're going to trade you.
Right.
You better watch it.
You know what happened to Anthony Davis?
Yep.
Dallas.
All right. That's the news at
Couldn't
noon.
be so lucky.
And congratulations to Tyrese Maxey, who was a starter.
Yes.
As an All-Star. And that is something that he's a starter as an All-Star. I mean, he's a first team. He's not an All-Star. All-Star is an accomplishment. A starter in an All-Star game when we're talking about players like LeBron James, even in one of his final years, is something real and legit. And this dude is unbelievable.
Shoe deal, too, announced earlier today.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Tyrese is the reason why we're not in ruins here.
Right before our eyes.
Yeah.
He has exploded onto the scene.
And the talent is tremendous. And, I was at the game last night, so thankfully they pulled it together in the second half. That was enjoyable. But, like, for him, this organization needed his personality type. They needed someone like him that, one, is, like, just best buddies with Joel. Like, the fact that they get along's great. And because if someone had come along and kind of ascended past Joel's stardom without having that type of dynamic, I'm interested how that could fracture.
Correct.
And he's been able to set the work ethic of the younger group here. Like, VJ has been very clear. Like, Maxey has me in the gym all the time. And that was the funniest story of the last, 48 hours in the NBA. Like, oh, is there a problem between VJ and Maxey? Have we ever seen two teammates disagree with one another, before?
Right.
Yeah, that was dumb. That video going viral was, funny because people, it's a problem. But, VJ, some of the other, younger guys on this team, a Grimes comes in, understands how things are going to work with Maxey. McCain understands how things are going to work here with Maxey. And Embiid has been yo, man, that's the franchise. That's the guy.
He knows it.
He knows it.
He's
We're all
comfortable
aware of
with it. Yep.
PG is more than cool with that because, it lets him just do his thing. He's set the bar for this organization. And for him to come from where he was to where he is now is incredible.
Suns in town tonight. Sixers woke up in the fourth quarter last night.
That was nice.
Ended up getting the win. Maxey had 8 steals last night.
Absurd.
29, 8, and 8. It felt like he had 15 steals.
Yes, every time. Every time.
Unbelievable.
And also just leading to runouts. I think I saw more Maxey dunks in that game than I've seen over the entire season.
Oubre looked good last night.
Really good.
Embiid's not going to play tonight. Paul George didn't play last night, so he likely plays tonight.
I imagine so.
But I like Oubre out there a lot as kind of that 4 or even a 5 in some smaller lineups.
He got really, really just a really good job of getting first step on guys, getting into his spot, playing off of 2 feet inside the paint. I thought that was really big for them last night. And then the start that Embiid got off to,
and Embiid
opened up the lane for him.
Yep.
And that's if you can get Oubre to be a slasher, sign me up.
Yep.
So that was good. That was a good end of the second half and the good starts of the game, the beginning of the first quarter, last
6
half
minutes,
of the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter. All right, I was all right, I'm back.
They got the win. That's all that I care about.
Right.
Suns are actually really good this year.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I was curious how they would go about their back-to-back strategy. I thought that they would save Embiid for the tougher of the two. So interested to see that it's going to be Paul George. I don't know what exactly they saw in last night's matchup that they needed to.
Maybe they just said, get him out there, let him play.
Flip a coin and
get a win, and then we'll worry about tomorrow.
Right.
Colin Gillespie, the pride of Archbishop Wood, returns to town as I think he's averaging 14 points or something.
He's found himself a role. It's not just like he's on an NBA roster.
And not on a crappy team.
No.
Suns they have 26 wins.
Yeah. They've been solid.
They've been good.
Yeah, I was curious what they would be post Durant.
Gillespie's in is this a second year because he's with the Nuggets, and I think he's in his second year. He's
carved out a decent.
He has, and you forget because I think he's 26.
Yeah, year 3.
I think he's 26. He was at Villanova for 5 years because he was there over COVID, so he got that extra 5th year that he could take.
Trust me, I watched him enough. I remember.
Yeah, he's
our college times overlapped there.
He's really turned himself into a good player. It's been
he liked playing at the Liacouras Center, I'll tell you that.
And the Fly Guys get a win last night to get off the schneid in Vegas.
Oh, we're back.
I mean, it's a huge weight off my chest. I personally jinxed them.
Yes. Big game for Harrison. And that was, I think it was Boucher that said after the game the other night that they need to focus on winning a game 2-1. They just need to find a way to just not let the other team score. They did. Harrison had a really good game and a good time. And TK, a couple of goals the same way.
Goals.
Yeah, so that was encouraging to see against a Vegas team that was hot.
Yeah, I noticed their record, so I'm like, oh, that's a good win.
Yeah, no, it was on the road. Good win. Hey, anytime you get 2 points in an opposing barn, that's big for the boys.
Especially in Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never know. All right, coming up, this is a Take Tuesday. So we all have a take. It could be sports. It could be not sports. It could be both. There could be multiple takes. But a Take Tuesday. If you have a take on the text line, 610-632-0975. If you have a take on the phone line, give us your take. Take Tuesday coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers and Flyers get a win. I'm Patricia Capu with your Fanatic Sports Update. Sixers will look to keep it rolling against the Suns tonight after defeating the Pacers Monday night. Tyrese Maxey, 29 points and 8 steals, a career high to prove why he's an all-star. Maxey spoke about how he feels about being selected as an all-star for the second time this year as a starter.
I feel good. I feel really good, man. I'm thankful to the fans, thankful to the media, players, everybody who voted in me, and I'm just happy. This means that we're winning games and we're trending in the right direction.
You can listen to Sixers Suns at 7 p.m. right here on the Fanatic. Flyers have off tonight after defeating the Golden Knights to break that 6-game losing streak. Fly Guys will now head to Utah to take on the Mammoth Wednesday night. Phillies designated infielder Weston Wilson for assignment this morning to make room for the newly re-signed JT Realmuto on the 40-man roster. Also in baseball news, the Hall of Fame election will be announced at 6 p.m. Bobby Abreu, Chase Utley, and Jimmy Rollins, just some of the former Phillies that could cement their name in Cooperstown. This update is brought to you by IHOP. IHOP Valley Menus is here. Enjoy breakfast favorites like pancakes, eggs, and bacon, French toast with sausage, or cheesy omelet with pancakes, all for just $6. Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP value menu. I'm Patricia Caputo on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ray. Reggae Tuesday. Ray Dunn. John Marks. Patricia Caputo on a Take Tuesday. That's correct. So on Tuesdays, we're going to give you our best takes.
Or worst.
Or worst. Sometimes the worst are the best. And the best are the
Controversial.
worst. Oh, yeah, I know you're all about controversy.
Yeah, I'd swim in controversy
I've had
constantly.
I've had to ask Ray to he had a political tweet or political take all fired up. I'm like, no, that's not this station. Go to your other station that you work at and do your political tweets, your political takes.
After the break, I need to know now.
Oh yeah, you should hear
You know
him.
me.
You should hear him.
I'm always firing away.
Partisan politics. That's Ray.
Yep.
That's Ray. All right.
Don't get me started.
Take Tuesday. We're going to start with Ray. Ray, what's your take?
All right. And I want to preface this with, I know a lot of people enjoy it, but it kind of freaks me out. This spin class craze that we've been in for what feels like the last 3 or 4 years, where there's a new cycling place opening up every corner, freaks me out. It kind of scares me. And let me walk you down this path. The whole spin class phenomenon. There's like one, and then, slowly the classes build out. Nobody's this happy at 5 in the morning to be doing anything. All these people are thrilled to be putting their bodies through hell at 5 in the morning. It's great. It all started with, one spin class. This Soul Cycle probably got started. People liked it. And it was, okay. These people started doing it. Then they became the leaders of the class. You become an instructor. That's like you start doing it. You sign up.
The fanatical people that do it a lot, they want to lead the class.
Right. You sign up. You do it once. Then you do it 3 times a week. Then you're like, you know what? I could lead one of these classes. So then you lead it. And then you start bringing other people into it. And next thing you know, we've got thousands of these cycling places with people wearing matching sets, doing the same identical movements at the same exact times, and pretty much just lumping themselves into one massive group. I don't want to call it a cult, but it kind of feels like...
That's insane.
Can you do the political take instead of this?
Enjoy something?
No, I get it.
Without being in a cult?
It's kind of freaks me out,
Talk about immigration. Enough of this.
How do you feel about Pilates then?
And it's all of them, really, and I get it. You enjoy it, but it's like almost a pyramid thing. Like, one person does it, then now I got 2 instructors from the one person.
You calling exercising a pyramid scheme?
I'm not calling it a pyramid scheme.
It's not a straight pyramid scheme, but I know where you're going.
Right.
I do Orange Theory, and when you're doing Orange Theory, you get addicted to it.
Right.
And then everybody that's there, it's like, well, I need the T-shirt.
Right.
I need to do it more.
I need to get the points for this.
Yeah.
I need to, when you show up at the 5 a.m., it kind of scares me. Like, it's just like one person starts doing it. They then recruit the people. They become the leader. And then those people become the
Great
instructors.
sales team.
Like, I know. It's incredible. It kind of, it scares me a little bit, this craze.
All right, so hang on. Have you done
No.
the spin? Well, how do you know so much about it if you've
Because
never done
every single woman my age is posting from there.
Oh, okay.
But see, so you're not talking to women about it. You're only looking.
I hear them talk about it, and it sounds wonderful. I'm
Where-
glad you're enjoying it. It's just kind of crazy. It just seems like...
Is this a city thing? Because
Yes.
there's no like
a lot of
there's
cycling
no
places.
there's no spin like if there might be spin classes around me. I never see them. I don't know anything you're talking about at all.
You've never seen the spin classes?
I mean, I used to go to the Spring Valley of Y. I knew there were spin classes. I know there's places that have spin classes. I'm not like the way you're describing is that you're walking down the street and you can't look anywhere but see a spin class.
You're getting asked to do a spin class on your way home from work.
I'm telling you, 2nd Street, Northern Liberties, at like 6:15, 6:30, just people carrying their workout bags, walking
make sure they
the
get it.
streets. It's like a parade. It's like, oh yeah, I guess the spin class just let out. It's a craze that like I get it. Exercise is good. I'm glad you found something you enjoy, but like this is our thing, and then I need you to come join it, and then I need you to come join it. It's become a little bit of a scary group.
I think you need to move, Ray.
You can attest to this, though. A lot of people in our generation are doing this.
Maybe, yes, in the city. I don't know one friend who...
Kate May.
Pilates a little bit. I know like my cousin will do a Pilates class or something. I don't know anyone who's like, I'm going to a cycling class
It's a city thing.
today.
It's a city
I
thing.
guess it is, but I see it happening, and I'm very happy for everyone that's found their exercise from it. But like the way it's built is one person starts doing it, and then you start to see their friends start joining it. Everyone starts moving up leadership-wise, and it's like, what's going on here? When did we all become fitness instructors?
The leadership wise is great. The whole
That I understand you being upset about.
I'm not upset about anything.
Oh yeah, it's very upsetting that they have a pyramid scheme.
The craze has kind of like surprised me. I just start to see
propaganda.
Ray's take. the spin culture has gotten totally out of control.
Correct. It has.
Okay.
We went from one person just exercising on their own to now like 40 people exercising together in matching outfits at 5 a.m., thrilled to be
He
together,
doesn't like-
doing the same movements at the same time.
People can't be social and doing exercise and be happy.
No, they can. See, this is why I'm
incredible.
This is why we do Take Tuesday, because this gets turned into something it's not.
No, this is exactly what we're talking about with takes.
Yeah.
Sports or not sports.
It's terrifying me a little bit. The spin craze has gotten out of hand.
Take Tuesday from Ray, Patricia Caputo.
Yeah, I have one. Similar to what Ray was saying, a little different. I think we get so hyped up about exercising classes and all this, but I've always been an advocate to ban shrinkflation. And I don't know if you all know what that is. Ray, you might when you drink.
Huh?
They're shrinking things now. So they'll shrink makeup products, but sell them for the same. Apparently, they shrink beers. I don't drink, but I have heard that a pint really isn't a pint anymore.
What?
When you go out, measure it.
It's
measure
like
it.
14.3.
Yep, but they're charging the same.
Yep.
So it's really becoming a problem, and we're staying silent as a society about it. And this goes beyond the city. It's everywhere. Try a new restaurant. It's going to be large portions. 2 months later, it's going to be smaller, $5 extra.
I'm actually in on this because I'm looking to do Restaurant Week because it's Center City Restaurant Week right now. And there's a couple establishments. I looked at like the pictures on their website, and I looked at the price, and I looked at the picture. I'm like, listen, I'm a thin guy, you know?
Right.
It doesn't take a lot for me to like be full, but like I want to get my portions. Like, so what if I take a little home? Like, some of these places are charging the same thing for a very small plate.
Yes, you get less.
You want
I don't
lunch
like it.
tomorrow.
Or they're giving you a different courses for one price. You're not getting what you if you went and you ordered it on a regular night.
Right. Yeah,
less
that
money.
I'm
You're getting
okay
less.
with. I'm okay with that. But like
Yeah.
I look at some of these plates and I'm like, there's no way this is worth X, like on a normal night.
Because it's not.
All right, you had your.
But we're settling.
No, I'm agreeing with
We're
her take.
settling
I
as
know.
people, and we're not getting mad enough about it. We're, $12 eggs. Yeah, at least I still get 12 eggs, though. At least it's not 6 anymore. You go out, it's smaller. I buy makeup, it's smaller. Nothing lasts the way it used to anymore, and it's frustrating.
It's a good take.
It's a good take by her.
Take Tuesday. All right, here's mine. This will be controversial for sure. I know nobody wants to go to work anymore, and everybody wants to work from home. Okay, right. But if you're and believe me, I've seen it enough. People that don't go to work, that work from home. Everybody says, "Well, I'm more productive when I work from home, and no, I don't have to worry about the commute, and I get more work done than if I went into the office." Guess what? Sometimes you got to get paid. You got to go to get paid. You got to go to places you don't want to go, like work. So if that means you're going to go in and pretend to do work for a couple hours a day, you have to go into the office and do that, not do that from home. Sorry, you don't get to do your laundry. You don't get to run errands. You don't get to go out to eat lunch. You don't get to exercise. You don't get to do what you want to do at your job. You got to work. So if you want to be not productive, you want to for a couple hours a day like you are at home, then you're going to have to go into the office more often. So this whole culture of we don't have to go into the office anymore, I'm more productive at home, that's crap. So if you have a job where you can work from home, God bless you. And I'm happy for you. But let's be honest. You're not more productive because you work at home. You're just working from home, and that's where you want to work from.
I mean, you do get stuff done when you be in the commute, right?
Sure.
You shouldn't. When you're commuting?
No. Instead of the commute.
By beating the commute. Yes.
Let me
you can mop the floors.
Let me contradict myself. Like a lot of times my wife, well, not with the kids now, but before, she'd get more accomplished from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. than she would driving in from 7 to 8 a.m. And then now she just arrived at work.
Yeah.
But you also have to balance that with, I'm going to go shopping, or I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to do this because I don't have a meeting until 3 o'clock. I get it. I like working from home too when I worked from home, but going to the office like everybody else.
Well, it's tough for us. I feel like from our vantage point, like this is what we do.
But if you worked a job where you could get a full salary that wasn't this, obviously, and work from home, you wouldn't do it.
Sure. Doesn't mean you're more productive. I guess it's the people that bitch that they won. Like, I shouldn't have to go into work. My job's making me go into work. This is crap. No, you need to go into work. If you can get a job working from home all the time, God bless you.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's the people that are they're so mad that they have to go into the office 2 days a week. Sorry. You got to drive into work 2 days a week. The rest of the week, you're working from home. Good for you. And by the way, I would not want to work from home. If I had a home studio set up and everything, no. I want to come in here. I do not want to work from home.
We appreciate that. Nice to see you.
Absolutely not. Not to see you, Ray.
Oh, okay.
Part of it's to see you. All right,
Thought it was nice for a
we
second.
We have Mosher coming up. Jeff Mosher
That's
coming
right.
up at 1 o'clock with the Eagles, and I have an Eagles take that I have coming up next.
Okay.
All right, so that'll get us back into the Eagles conversation. 610-632-0975. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Fanatics, Andrew Dick.
With Ray Dunn, Patricia Caputo, Jeff Mosher coming up at 1 o'clock. His thoughts on the Eagles' offensive coordinator search and more. We have this big blizzard that is scheduled to come this weekend as of right now.
I got a text from Vito. I think it was this morning, last night. Hey, you traveling this weekend? It's like, no. He's like, yeah, good. Don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. If I didn't even see the forecast. My wife told me about it last night.
I did a rabbit hole on YouTube.
I went and looked, and I'm like, oh, this could be like a foot plus, which I hope it's not.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Caputo, as you get older, I like the snow for my kids. Go outside and play in it. That's about it. I hate the cold. I hate having to remove the snow. I got a lot of snow this weekend. I'm not gonna know where to put it because it's cold. It's not gonna melt.
Right. Oh, everything's frozen.
Oh my
I'm
God.
slipping left and right walking around.
I made a big adult move though. I got the snow shovel for my car or the snow scraper. Really big adult move.
That's
for me.
Man. You're like
so
retirement age.
Funny you said that because when I started here, I didn't have one of those. Salciunas actually gave me my snow scraper because I didn't have one.
Well, you can buy them in stores.
Yeah, I know.
Like $3.
Yeah,
I'm aware. Yeah, no, but the snow scraper I have is thanks to Salciunas because I didn't have one.
I don't actually have one in my car.
Yeah, see, I didn't either, and he was worried about me, and I was like,
okay.
I'll take care of you because he did a whole thing about how people that don't clean off the snow off their cars are bad.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do think it's dangerous.
Right.
There was a lot of people today that I saw, and I was like,
oh, yeah, you should have seen it yesterday. Because people that had off yesterday didn't do all the cleaning off on Sunday, so then today it's a mess.
yeah, you should do that. Thankfully, I was out on Sunday night, so it was nice because I did it right away.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
You guys are right. You should do that. I just didn't. After he went on that whole thing about how you should do it, I was like, oh, yeah, your producer didn't on that one. And he was like, why not? I was like,
Well, I'm glad that you're mature. You guys are mature now, and you
look at us.
I
you
grew
have
up.
nice
Yeah.
scrapers.
No, thanks.
But anyway, I'm not looking forward to this. I hope it does not snow. I do because you were asking me, you're like, you're going to stay in the hotel if it snows, and I'm like, probably not. I can normally, as long as highways are clear, I can do it.
Right.
I'm not worried about driving in. If the highways aren't clear, then you can't do it. I mean, believe me, I've driven in the work where I was like, I hope I make it, where I'm sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay in a hotel. I don't want to leave my family. But I guess what I have to do is I have to get the snowblower out of the shed, which is
Make sure it's
behind
ready to go.
It's behind because I haven't brought it out because there hasn't been a big storm.
Right.
And I need it for this one. So anyway.
I'm hoping I get snowed into a bar and it's not that bad.
Yeah, that would
be
actually
ideal.
be. There's been many times that we've been at the hotel across the street, and I've ended up at the Fridays with everybody else that works in radio, and we would, have fun.
Yeah.
We would drink. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Well, you should know what shape I'm coming in Monday.
Anyway, so there was some reaction on the text line from Take Tuesday, right?
A lot of people are with Patricia on this.
On shrinkflation.
Shrinkflation, how it's a big, big issue.
Revolution we're creating.
Rob from Pittman does want for the next show me to get a breakdown of the best spin instructor trees and also go take a spin instructor class. So
You should take a class, and I wonder who's the Bill Walsh of the
Right, that's
spin
what I'm
classes.
saying. Like this all started with a Bill Walsh type, and like it's just gone down. And it's not a coaching tree. It's not a pyramid scheme because people are getting healthy, and it's a good thing. I don't want to not try and take a shot at what everyone enjoys.
It's cultish.
If it was something else, people would be like, "Wow, that's kind of strange." But since it's exercise, everyone's like, "Oh, this is great for you."
So I saw some. Go ahead, Trish.
I will say a lot of people had those spin bikes in their houses, like when I would
Peloton.
babysit and stuff. Yeah, the Peloton?
The Peloton.
And that was pretty popular. Now do people use them? No. But they had all those.
so
Some people do, but.
Peloton got lucky at the beginning of COVID. They were launching,
right?
And then COVID happened because I had a Peloton bike in my house. It wasn't mine, and I wasn't going to use it. And then the novelty wears off, and then people don't want it anymore. I was actually lucky enough to sell it.
Oh, good
and,
for you!
And to get some of the money back.
The Jordan Davis?
No. But then the novelty wears off, and Peloton goes from being this very healthy company making Pelotons, and they can't keep them in stock, to, oh my God, now they're financially in big trouble and they're done. I don't know if they're still the case. Even the instructors became big stars. And unless you did the Peloton, you have no idea who they are. But the people that did Peloton, you'd be like, oh my God, like, oh, I can't believe I met this person. Like, who's that? Oh, it's a Peloton instructor.
Yeah, that's just taking that in person.
Correct.
Oh, yeah. I mean, good for everyone. Everyone's getting healthy. I'm glad.
Yes, Ray is anti-people being healthy with his spin take.
I mean, you listen to the lifestyle I lead. I don't think that's very surprising.
Correct. People, I saw some sports takes here on Take Tuesday. The Phillies missed the playoffs in 2026.
Oh, out on that.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I can make the case if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. There had to be a lot to go wrong, and we've seen it before, but I'm not going to forecast that right now. All right, here's a sports take, and it gets us into the it gets us into the Eagles conversation. So, if we're still talking about Jalen Hurts and the need for him to run the football again next year, we have a major problem with the quarterback. In season, during the season, when you know the offense isn't good enough and the passing offense isn't good enough, it became a source of desperation like, hey, this has worked before.
Right.
It makes the running game that much better. The passing offense isn't great. Kevin Patullo doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Hey, Jalen, you need to actually run the ball, and this is something that you need to do. If this is something that we're doing every year where we're saying going into the season, hey, Jalen's got to run the ball more if this offense is going to be successful, I'm officially over that. The quarterback doesn't need to run the ball anymore for this offense to be successful. If the quarterback does need to run the ball more for this offense to be successful, then we have the wrong quarterback. Every year, I saw Sean Bernard on Crossing Broad. He had this. He posted an article about Jalen running the ball.
Mm.
His first year as a starter, 784 rushing yards. That's to be expected with a young quarterback that has the skill to run the ball. We see it with all the young quarterbacks that can run the ball. And then progressively, 760, 605, 630. This year, he only rushed for 421 yards. That and I think it's like 26 yards a game or something like that. 6.6 yards a carry. The touchdowns also went down to 8 this season. First time he's been under double-digit touchdowns in his career. 10, 13, 15, 14, and 8. So it's trending in the direction of the evolution of the quarterback. As they progress in the league, going into his 6 years as a starter, he shouldn't be running the ball 784 yards, for 760 yards. Jalen Hurts is not a dynamic runner like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's a Michael Vick type. Michael Vick could make everybody on the field miss. Jalen's a good runner, and he can make guys miss. He can run guys over, but he's not the dynamic athlete that a Michael Vick or a Lamar Jackson was. And I'll say the same for those guys. They need to be able to throw the ball first to really be effective. And Jalen, I never want to have the conversation again. Hey, we need to make sure Jalen's running the ball more. Jalen, you can't not run the ball. That has to be a big part of your game. That's my take on that.
So you just want to see the evolution of the passing game. You don't care for his running at all at this point.
He ran for 421 yards this year. He should not run for more yards next year. Around the same, I'm fine with. He didn't overrun this year. Could he have ran more in certain spots? Yeah, but I think that was more desperation because they couldn't throw the freaking ball.
I mean, I just go back at the beginning of the season. Not that it was at all pretty at all throughout this season, but you remember those halves they had in that first month of the season where it was like, oh, they're going to dial it up at some point. Like where it's like, oh, yeah, that Tampa Bay opening half, that was a won by you there. Or like, hey, they took the, what was it? They played not to lose against the Rams in the second half, and they opened things up and things started to work for him. The beginning of the game against the Cowboys where he's running all over the place. Like he actually, that opening month, ran not to the point where like, wow, he's running the ball every time, but ran to a good level. The last 12 games of the season that he played, he averaged 20 yards per game in that stretch. And like as they tried to figure things out offensively, they went away from all of that.
Right.
Now, whether part of it could be him, part of it could be the coordinator. I imagine pretty much every conversation we have this offseason, well, everyone has a little bit of blame in this. Like, I think he needs to be more dynamic in the run game because I think that's just good for him to get him moving. If he's just stationary in the pocket, like I think him being moved around and moving with the flow of the game, like if he's moving to his right, I think given what he's been as a passer, their out of rhythm passing game is something that we're going to have to deal with him. And that's part of him moving to the side. And if he sees something open to run, go take it.
I agree.
But I think so that becomes a byproduct of that. Like I don't know if necessarily need him like designed like 10 runs a game. Like the whole 10 rush stat for me is a little much. But I think him doing it more is important. But if it's the only thing we're focusing on come next year, if we're like, well, they need to run more as an offense, then they didn't do enough to get a passing offense that actually works.
Wasn't that seen as a savior this year? Well, we know. It's like, oh, well, they're not running them because they're saving it for the playoffs.
Well, it's like 2023. Yeah, they're just playing possum. Yeah, oh yeah, when the playoffs get here, they'll turn it up. It's like, no, they're not. This is who they are.
All right, T-Love, he'll join us on the other side. He'll lead us off. And then we have some Phillies JT Realmuto sound. JT spoke to the media, and he's got a couple interesting tuts. JT didn't think he was coming back to the Phillies. We'll play that for you coming up next. 610-632-0975. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Philly Sports appears to be back. I'm Patricia Caputo, and this update is brought to you by IHOP. IHOP Valley's value menu is here. Enjoy breakfast favorites like pancakes, eggs, and bacon, French toast with sausage, or cheesy omelet with pancakes, all just for $6. Go to your happy plates with $6 IHOP value menu. Sixers will look to keep it rolling against the Suns tonight after defeating the Pacers Monday night. Tyrese Maxey, 29 points and 8 steals, a career high. Maxey spoke about how he feels about being selected as an All-Star for the second time, this time as a starter.
I feel good. I feel really good, man. I'm thankful to the fans, thankful to the media, players, everybody who voted in me, and I'm just happy. This means that we're winning games and we're trending in the right direction.
You can listen to Sixers Suns at 7 p.m. right here on The Fanatic. Flyers have off tonight after defeating the Golden Knights, breaking a 6-game losing streak. They will now head to Utah to take on the Mammoth Wednesday night. Phillies designated infielder Weston Wilson for assignment this morning to make room for the newly re-signed JT Realmuto on the 40-man roster. This update is also brought to you by Morgan Stern Hair Restoration. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgan Stern Hair Restoration championship results. Visit morgansternhair.com or call 610-980-4000. I'm Patricia Caputo on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
was thinking play one song and then that's it.
All right.
Because it's a reggae.
Yeah. Again, you intended for the music to be the reason why you called it that.
Yes.
Yes.
Reggae.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay,
Or
so
if
we're
you-
done.
Or if
No
you're
more?
happy. Yeah, you can just play the regular ones.
All right.
No, but we can also do it like, occasionally you pop a couple more or
Right.
whatever. I was looking around this morning for some.
It was good
reggae
work by
stuff.
Patricia, though.
You did a great job.
I tried.
On the fly. Thank you. You did a great job. We're hoping to talk to Jeff Mostert about 1:30. Something came up in his schedule. He was supposed to join us at 1, so we're going to try to talk to him at 1:30.
That's right.
Okay. Let's
Little offensive coordinator conversation.
Yes, which I'm very intrigued to talk about. Let's get T-Love in before we pivot to JT, because JT and Dave Dombrowski spoke to the media today. T-Love and Delco. T-Love, what's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, I need to expand on what I called to talk about. What I originally called to talk about is why is Nick Sirianni, why is he not, why you can't get rid of that guy? You know what I mean? It just bothers me. And then I started thinking about it. I don't know a whole lot about hockey, but the teams that I do know about, I think the Phillies are in need of leadership change. I think the Sixers are in need of leadership change, and the Eagles. I first of all, I don't even know what Nick Sirianni does. It's just a mystery to me that after two Super Bowls, after each Super Bowl appearance, that because of his hirings, you fall out completely.
Right.
Theoretically, this team could have been in 4 straight Super Bowls, theoretically.
Yeah.
And I think due to his mismanagement and quite frankly, his inability to go beyond whatever it is he does, I'm dumbfounded.
Well,
I'm dumbfounded.
So T-Love, what you're saying, I think a lot of Eagles fans are asking the same question. Like, okay, they've had success. He's got the resume. We know that. What exactly is he doing that sets him apart other than the resume? What else is he doing? And I really think at this point that, have they defined what he's doing? I mean, they tried, but we still don't really know what it is. He's the head coach. So, I mean, I'll say this. He is replaceable. Like, I see your comment up there says, why is Sirianni not replaceable? Oh, he is. And if they fall apart or they take a step back this year, he could be the first one to go. He could. Believe me, his job is I don't think he's necessarily on the hot seat, but they could very easily move on from him if they don't have a good season this year.
I think he's a very lucky guy. I hear a lot of people say this about Jalen Hurts, that he's a product of his team and the people on his team. That is definitely should be said about Nick Sirianni, because I don't believe that he could go to a team that had mediocre players and actually make something special happen. I don't think he could coach his way out of a paper bag, and I'd hate to see him have to coach with his life on the line, because I don't hate the guy, but that's suicide.
Well, I mean, I think I think what you're saying, like, Sean McVay, right?
Yeah.
No one's going to confuse him with the Sean McVays and the schemers and the great offensive coaches. That the reason why you're hiring them is you're hiring them for their offensive acumen. Nick Sirianni's never been that guy.
No.
But I mean, we have the canned responses with Nick Sirianni. The guys play hard for him. He's got the resume.
Solid game manager.
He does manage the game well.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He's good with the timeouts.
Right. That's where he's been able to beat McVay multiple times.
Yep. Yeah, but outside of that, I mean, is he replaceable? Of course he is. Is Jalen Hurts replaceable? I mean, I think Nick Sirianni's more replaceable.
Right.
Jalen Hurts might struggle, and you're going to probably hear me complain a lot about Jalen Hurts the passer over the next couple months, because I'm ready to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I've also seen Jalen Hurts on the field as a quarterback in the biggest moments of his life outplay Pat Mahomes and outplay other quarterbacks. Look at his record against Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes and those guys. He beats them. So there's something to Jalen Hurts. It's just because you can see it on the field. It's more difficult with Nick Sirianni because you can't really see what it is that he's doing.
Yeah, and we had Herm Edwards on, what was it, 2 weeks ago, leading up to the playoff game. And he called the offense a pothole offense, which was just an all-time line by him. The entire cut was just fantastic. it's almost like a pothole organization with Sirianni in the sense that, like, things are going really well. You're driving along. Boom. You need to hire that offensive coordinator. You need to get out of it. Instead, you hit the pothole, and, like, now you're on the side of the road trying to fix the tire again. And he's calling AAA because he's not fixing the tire himself. Like, with him, you just kind of keep hitting these potholes that he needs someone else to fix. And it's like, if you can't fix it, like...
But now they're not even asking him to fix it.
Right. But, like, that's the thing. They're like, Howie's AAA in this situation. Like, and I'll be honest with you, I need AAA. Like, I'm not good with the tire thing.
All right, so because my old producer, Jack, had to call his dad to come and to change his tire on the side of the highway.
Oh, no, I call AAA.
So you can't change your own tire?
No shot.
Right.
Come on,
I
Ray.
learned last week. I did have a friend come and help me, but I did learn last. I'm 22, Ray.
I got a come on from someone that learned last week because you needed to learn.
But you could look up a video if you needed it.
Owner's manual video. You know what?
There's a dad on YouTube.
The first thing I would do is I would go to YouTube. I would say
100%.
I would have a Toyota Highlander. I would say changing putting on a Toyota Highlander donut.
There is no YouTube video for a 2002 Toyota Avalon.
Yes, there is. I bet you there is.
No, YouTube didn't exist.
I'll bet you this. You'd be surprised that you could do it. It's really not that difficult. The jack that's in there, like literally.
That was my biggest problem. My jack broke. And thankfully there was some kid with a jack and we were able to get it.
So you get a flat tire?
On my way here. Last week was interesting.
On the way to work?
Yeah. My flat tire and then my brakes went out 2 days later.
What?
Yeah, it was an interesting time.
You've got to be careful. Where were you when you got the flat tire?
Monroeville? Yeah, but I was able to get right off the exit. There was an exit right off. I pulled into a gas station.
You know, the first time I got a flat tire, I was driving to Penn State a year out of high school. So this is back when there wasn't even MapQuest. I had an atlas that I had to actually write down the directions on a piece of paper. And I got a flat tire on the highway I don't even think it was 322. I think it was like 81. One of the highways that you have to take before you actually get on 322 to get to Penn State. And it was raining. And luckily it wasn't on the inside of the road, it was an outside. So it was a passenger side tire. And I had never changed the tire before, and you know what I did? I figured it out.
Nice.
Because there was no cell phone, there was no directions. I might have looked in the owner's manual, honestly. But it was in a 1988 Mazda 323 hatchback. And I figured it out, Ray. I think you'd surprise yourself because I am mechanically inclined. I am not mechanically inclined.
I'm not.
My father is a contractor. He's a carpenter. He can fix anything. He can build anything. I can't do anything. I feel pathetic sometimes. My wife has to fix things.
I feel pathetic too. And it's certainly not my dad's doing because my dad's handy. My dad could fix things. My great grandfather was like tremendous with that. So my grandfather, my dad would, he taught him everything. And it's
generational too.
Yeah. I'm a lazy, you know what?
You could change your own tire.
But AAA takes a long time to come. That was my dilemma. I didn't have 3 hours to wait for AAA to come out.
You had to get to work.
Yeah, I had to try to get to work.
Also, if it's not safe for you to do it, you shouldn't do it. So if you're I don't know. If I was on the side of the Schuylkill, on the 2-lane Schuylkill, on the side where I got to do it on the road, the driver's side, I don't know if I'm doing it.
Right. No, I wouldn't do it.
But I will say, AAA won't come out if it's on a highway sometimes.
What do you do?
Because I've had to tow my car, and they charged me to get it off the parkway because it's a different towing service, so I had to call that towing service. So I don't know if they'll come out for that.
Yeah, I had a situation here. My car was dead at the pizza shop down the street. Was it Rock Hill Pizza? Whatever that is. Good pizza spot.
Mm-hmm.
My car was dead. I was doing a Sunday show. My car was dead, and I had no one to jump with the whole thing. So Petrelli was producing me at that time, came and picked me up, took me down there. I called AAA when I got here to start the show. By the time I got to the end of the show, they still hadn't shown up. My old roommate came out, jumped the car, and we went on our way.
So do you know how to jump a car?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So you know how to jump a car?
Yeah, I know how to jump a car.
Just making sure.
Well, you see the car
That's
I've
a YouTube
had.
video, though. You can definitely look that up.
That car, you think that car started every time I've tried to start it?
All right. Good point. All right.
I need to.
Change the tire. Just do this for me. Just go out and change the tire, even if you don't need it.
I'll take the spin class first.
Okay, spin class and then change the tire.
I think the tire would be easier than the spin class.
It's really not that difficult.
It's probably not.
All you're doing is you're taking a jack and then you spin it and it raises the car up and then you're taking the lug nuts off of the tire, and you're taking it off, and then it's really not that complicated.
I would bet.
You could do it.
I probably could.
You
I
wouldn't even
believe in
try it.
myself.
You already said that you wouldn't try it. You'd call AAA.
In the moment, depends what's going on.
Yeah, if he's in a hurry to get to work, he might do it himself.
I would.
He would take an Uber. Let's face it.
True.
No, I'm not leaving my car.
Well,
You take the keys.
No, God, I'm not leaving my
But
car
if
on the
it's
side of the
all
road.
right, so if you're at home and you're parked on the street and you go outside to the car and you have a flat tire, what are you doing?
What's my day look like?
And it's 8:00 on whenever
you have to come here.
Then I have to change the tire myself, or I have to at least learn. Because what am I going to do? That or
take an Uber.
Uber's expensive to get out here.
Uber is expensive.
Take a Waymo.
So I want my life, man. Waymo Wednesday tomorrow. We ready for it?
I have a story. Don't
Okay,
you
good.
worry about it. All right. Earlier, JT Realmuto and Dave Dombrowski spoke separately. As originally it was like, hold on, they're talking together. That could be awkward. It wasn't awkward because
Good work by PR.
JT spoke and then Dave Dombrowski spoke. This is over Zoom, so it wasn't a whole thing down at Citizens Bank Park. JT, let's go with number one. Here's JT Realmuto talking about did he feel like that there was a chance that he wasn't going to come back? Here's JT.
Yeah, there was. I mean, there towards the end, there was a short time where obviously there's no secret that, the Phillies had other opportunities, and then myself as well. I was looking at other teams. There at the end, it got a little stressful where, we thought there was an opportunity or a chance that we weren't going to be back, which, obviously wasn't ideal for us. We made it pretty clear that we wanted to be with the Phillies from the start. So luckily that didn't last too long, and we were able to come together and get a deal done.
All right, he goes on, number three, Patricia, because Phillies wanted him back, but it was kind of like, all right, I know you want me back, but you don't want to pay me what I want to be. So I guess it's number two. So let's go to JT.
Yeah, it was different just in the sense that, where I'm at in my career, the goals were really kind of different for us and obviously for the Phillies as well. The main thing for me, I know how the game works, and I know there's certain values on players. And at the end of the day, I just value myself and what I do for the team and the clubhouse differently than what the Phillies did for a while. So that's why it took longer than it maybe should have. And as far as the team goes, I think we shape up pretty good. I mean, obviously we had a good year last year, won the division, didn't work out for us in the postseason, but we're bringing a lot of the same guys back and adding some new good pieces. So I'm excited for this year.
So Dave Dombrowski addressed the situation about Bo Bichette. And let's do Dave Dombrowski number three. Dave Dombrowski, he was asked about Bo Bichette. You only have four, number three? All right. Well, regardless, Dave Dombrowski was asked about Bo Bichette, and he had said that we were close and we thought it was going to happen. So he was honest about that.
They were both honest about it. JT and Dave Dombrowski were both honest about the fact that, we didn't think about a week ago that maybe we'd be sitting down and having this conversation with all of you, that maybe they'd be introducing someone else. So I appreciate the honesty. The JT, I value myself more than the Phillies, is pretty good there. I enjoyed that. What I do in the clubhouse and what I see about baseball. I know the game, which is great. How about the one guy who tells the entire organization that he knows the game? You got 37 people on salary in the Phillies that know the game, that are trying to assign values every single day to every single situation of baseball. JT's like, yeah, I know the game. I know what I'm worth.
Right. So here's Dave addressing the Bo Bichette situation.
I can't say that we ever thought it was done because there's a difference between, we thought we were very close to having a deal done. We thought it was going to happen, but it wasn't done. And so there's a difference between the two. And as I've explained to some other people, that it's a situation where in baseball, and agents run things differently between themselves. They do things in different ways. Until you sign a memo of understanding, you don't have a deal done. And we did not sign one of those. And it wasn't that we weren't moving towards that direction. It didn't think that we were going to get there based upon our conversations, but we did not get to that point. So I can't say that I ever thought we had it. I did think we were going to get a deal done.
All right. So he addressed that where it wasn't described totally when they said, you thought maybe that they had all right, we agree to this deal, we just need to sign it. Nothing was signed. So there was no, whatever he just called it in that. There was no okay, we agree that we're going to take the next step and sign something.
Did he have the handshake done? Is this a Michael Parsons, Jerry Jones type thing here? Hey, he shook my hand and said this is what he was going to get.
Doesn't seem like it. But they thought they had a deal done. He said it.
Yeah.
He also went on to say that after they found out that Bichette was going to the Mets, he called John Middleton, and they immediately called JT's agent and got a deal done with JT.
Which checks out. I mean, it was 90 minutes. It was noon. We were about to do the news at noon. We got the Bichette news. We pivoted. And then at about 1:20, 1:30, it came out that JT was signing back. I mean, it might have even been less than 90 minutes.
It was less than 90 minutes.
So
it was right around that.
They knew probably about 11:45 it wasn't going to happen. And they probably got a deal done early in the 1 o'clock hour.
Yeah, because David said that they didn't sign anything. Well, they signed something with JT.
Yeah. Oh, they did. Oh, they did.
They negotiated that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you. And I still and my reaction to it after you said it was, are they insane? Like, I couldn't believe they gave him the contract.
I'm still sitting here shocked. This last year, around this time, I'm pretty sure I did the whole, I don't know about giving an extension to JT thing. A year later, they didn't give him an extension, but they gave him 3 years.
You get a 3-year contract. All right, so we always have a lot of fun with.
We have a good club.
Well, there was a lot of club talk.
Oh, yeah.
By Dave Dombrowski. Here's Dave talking about his good club.
We did rebound in the sense that we signed JT right away, which I'm very fortunate that we're very fortunate he didn't sign somewhere else. And I think overall in the wintertime, I like our club. We have a good club. You know, I've just said it's a situation. People forget we re-signed Schwarbs. If we hadn't re-signed him, I don't know how I would be feeling about the wintertime. As you could see, there was a lot of competition for him. I look at our club with signing JT, which was also a priority for us. And if we didn't sign JT, and no offense to the catchers that we have with Marchand and Stubbs, we would have been in a position we would have tried to add somebody somehow, some way, because I don't think we'd have felt comfortable going through a year without having somebody else back there. So bringing JT back was huge for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No offense. You didn't have to say that. You know, you could have just said, if we didn't bring back JT, we would look to grab a catcher.
Right, which everybody understood.
He goes, no offense, Marchand and Stubbs. Like, he's just thinking in his head, like, those guys are lackluster, but I can't really say that, right?
Right, well, you just did.
Yep.
By saying, like, are you crazy? We wouldn't have went into the season with these two scrubs.
Nobody remembers about Schwarber.
You know, Ray, I was thinking the same thing where I was like, man, I wonder where does Schwarber sign again? Because nobody remembers where he signed. Oh, that's right. He did resign with the Phillies.
That's
no one
right.
remembers that.
Yeah, and, you know, the thing is with the Sixers, there's that looming Embiid health question that nobody talks about.
Nobody ever does. We just think he's going to be healthy forever.
Correct.
Yep.
Oh, and then, you know, the Eagles' offense, people forget, it really didn't have that good of a season. This was the biggest thing we talked about all offseason.
He was also asked about Bryce. I don't think we have it.
Oh,
Does he have it?
Somewhere back there.
It's number 8. And he asked with, and unfortunately, whoever asked the question asked if he spoke to Bryce, which we know he already spoke to Bryce. The question really is, you at the end of the season, you had said you didn't know if Bryce Harper was elite anymore. Having thought about that, and now as we're heading into spring training, do you have confidence Bryce Harper will again be elite? And watch what he says about it. Because he did answer it. So can we play? Do we have 8? Because he gives like pretty much no answer on it, but he says, I have spoken to Bryce. But here's Dombrowski.
I did talk to Bryce. I've talked about this a while ago. So I'm not going to go into that again in further detail. But I have spoken to Bryce, had a great conversation with him. That goes back a while ago. That goes back into November. So a couple months ago. And I do think he will have the ability to be one of the faces of our franchise and look forward to having a tremendous year for us. I think he will.
I do think he has the ability to be a face of the franchise.
Has he spoken since the Not Elite shirt?
Bryce? No.
I don't. We haven't heard from Dombrowski since the Not Elite shirt. I think that's the question.
No, the question isn't having you spoken to him. You're right. The question is Bryce was seen wearing a Not Elite shirt based on your conversation at the press conference at the end of the season. Have you spoken to Bryce again? Did you see the shirt?
Right.
And are you worried that this is going to be an issue with Bryce? Do you think that Bryce is going to be elite? Are you concerned that you saw him wear this shirt? I don't know. I mean, there was something there to be asked that he would have been squirming.
And with the Tucker deal and with the Bichette deal, right now Scott Boras is livid with Bryce Harper over the lack of an opt-out. Like, this offseason, because I feel like the elite comment comes back to the extension talks. It comes back to what we're investing here. Like, I don't like it. I don't like the undertone of the whole thing.
All right, coming up, hope to talk to Jeff Mosher, and we'll get into the Eagles' offensive coordinator candidates because it's starting to, if you squint, you can see it maybe who the Eagles are going to be targeting and who could be available and who isn't going to be available. A bunch of defensive coaches got head coaching jobs yesterday, which made it a little bit easier for the Eagles. Jeff Mosher, Philly voice, Inside the Birds, coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers and Flyers get a win. I'm Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. Sixers will look to keep it rolling tonight against the Suns after defeating the Pacers Monday night. Tyrese Maxey, 29 points and 8 steals, a career high for the All-Star. You can listen to that game live right here on the Fanatic starting at 7 p.m. Flyers have off tonight after defeating the Golden Knights Monday night. After breaking that 6-game losing streak, Fly Guys will now head to Utah to take on the Mammoth Wednesday night. Phillies designated infielder Weston Wilson for assignment this morning to make room for the newly re-signed JT Realmuto on the 40-man roster. Scott Lauber spoke this morning to the Morning Crew about where the team stands at this point in the offseason.
I think we can have a legitimate debate about are they better today than they were at the end of the Dodger series. I do think that they are still one of the top handful of teams, less than that, in the National League and should be back there.
Baseball Hall of Fame elections will also be announced tonight at 6 p.m. Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, some of the former Phillies that could cement their name in Cooperstown. This update is brought to you by IHOP. IHOP Values menu is here. Enjoy breakfast favorites like pancakes, eggs, and bacon, French toast with sausage, or cheesy omelet with pancakes, all for $6. Go to your happy plates with $6 IHOP value menu. I'm Patricia Caputo, and you're home with the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
toe as we're efforting to get Jeff Mosher here, but the Eagles offensive coordinator search is an interesting one because really, like, they've completed interviews, they are setting up interviews. So names like Brian Daboll, he's supposed to interview with the Eagles sometime today if he already didn't. Jim Bob Cooter, who at one time wasn't he a member of the Eagles organization? Well, he interviewed on a couple days ago. Mike Kafka. Zach Robinson was last Friday, and then there's also been some rumored interest with some other guys that are out there. But who makes the most sense? At some point, Mike McDaniel is thought to interview with the Eagles. But who makes the most sense? I really liked what I heard at the press conference from Howie Roseman, which leads me to believe that they're not just coming out and saying, "Hey, let's hire a guy that's a good offensive coordinator," but also, like, we're trying to pinpoint, hey, what can we do as far as him coming in, doing what we do with our quarterback, but also, running plays. You know what I mean? Like, it's about play calling. It's not about an offensive philosophy coming in here. And, it seems like they're going away from that. Now they're going to come in. Maybe you're going to challenge the quarterback and everything else. I don't see Jeff up there, so I don't.
We got him.
Jeff Mosher of the Philly Voice and Inside the Birds. Are you with us, Jeff? Jeff, hello?
I'm here. You guys there?
What's up, dude?
Hey, Johnny, what's up?
How are you? Good, man. Good. All right, so first of all, tell us what you think. You saw the press conference. You heard Howie speak. That really pumped Nick up to be like, oh, Nick's an elite coach and everything else. But they also kind of touched on the offense. Do you think they're looking to bring in a guy that is going to come in and like Kellen Moore, it seemed like, ran the Eagles offense, especially after the bye week. They ran the Eagles offense. Are they bringing in an offensive coordinator? They're going to try to bring in an offensive coordinator that's going to challenge Jalen Hurts and challenge what the Eagles have done on offense.
Well, that's what they should do. That's what they need to do. That's what any really good offensive coordinator does anyway. It doesn't have to be contentious, but you're certainly looking at an offense that over 2 years has regressed, and I'm now going to get a lot of people. What do you mean they won the Super Bowl? They scored all these points in the championship game and the Super Bowl. Yes, they did do that, but for the most part, in 2024, there were some really ugly moments compared to 23 and 22 and 21, and then things really have spiraled down this past year. So they obviously need someone to go in and challenge the conventional thinking a little bit, but that is where I wonder, Johnny. I wrote this on Philly Voice yesterday, what I thought was an important column about the Eagles really need to figure out who they want to be and what they want to be offensively before they make the hire. It's not like hiring a head coach when you're hitting reset and you're casting a wide net and you just want to find the best guy that you think can reshape your franchise, because usually when you're hiring a head coach, you hit rock bottom as a franchise. The Eagles may have hit rock bottom offensively, but they have a Super Bowl MVP quarterback. They have an offensive line. They have a running back, wide receivers. They're all locked in to long-term deals. And they've won 70% of their games in the regular season doing it that way, and 60% of their postseason games doing it that way, including 2 Super Bowl trips and a Super Bowl. So the question that I think the Eagles have to ask themselves is, are they trying to take what they already do and find the right person to evolve it the right way within the scope of what they've done? Or are they trying to take a sledgehammer to the entire operation and have it rebuilt? Like you're gutting your kitchen and everything is going to be new appliances, new cabinets, new island in the middle, everything modernized. Because some of the coordinator candidates they're speaking of fit each of those categories. So I think it's really important for the Eagles to decide first which way they want to go and not just say, we're getting the best offensive creative mind available, because that guy can come in and say, well, then I want to do things totally differently than how you've been doing it for the last 3 or 4 years. And Howie just said they were in win now mode. So some of that could take some time. So there can't be some incongruity to the team's philosophy and then who they hire to call these plays.
So who is it? And you're right. And you're right. Like if you take the sledgehammer and you do all new, then I don't know if that works with the quarterback, but just with the candidates that are out there, and we know the big names, who makes the most sense from your perspective?
Yeah, and by the way, not just the quarterback. I mean, it's your run blocking has been a certain way. I mean, certain coordinators like a wide zone, some like an inside zone. Your receiver routes, your passing concepts. The Eagles have not been a team to take advantage of every single blade of grass on the field the way some coordinators like their pass concepts to do. So it's about the whole team in general. I mean, I really think, if he's gettable, and we'll see. I know that they obviously interviewed him today. I think Brian Dable is a guy who could come in here and just add to what they've already done, pass concepts, sharpen them, freshen them, doesn't probably have to take control of the run game or change a whole lot about what Eagles do for run offense, but can get that athletic quarterback movement game back into the playbook, get really good pass concepts that work with quarterbacks that he's worked with before. He's worked with Jackson Dart, obviously, and Josh Allen, and so there are some similarities in skill set or how they play the game with Jalen Hurts. So I think that would be good. But then, does he fit with the head coach? Does he fit with the quarterback? Remember, he was the offensive coordinator in college when the quarterback got benched. So then you have to go down those paths and see if it would work.
I'm curious.
I personally also like Arthur Smith. By the way, he has not, to my knowledge, interviewed, but he is a guy who is a 2 tight end kind of guy, run game kind of guy, and can build. He's known for building good pass concepts out of the same formations, which is something that, in 2017, the Eagles did well under Reich and DiFilippo. It's something they did well under Steichen when he, went to the Super Bowl under him. Some people kind of roll their eyes. But again, if you're not trying to gut everything and start over, if you're trying to take someone whose core philosophies are similar to what you do, which is running the ball, using multiple tight ends, and of course the Eagles will have to get back to getting tight ends who could block. Arthur Smith is that kind of a guy.
We've talked a lot over the last couple of years about play calling experience, how much it matters for an offensive coordinator. Could you see a world in which the Eagles hire a candidate that does not have substantial NFL play calling experience?
No, not at all. I think that the kicking of the tires on, say, a Charlie Weiss Jr., who's been Lane Kiffin's guy in Ole Miss and at LSU, is really interesting and very consistent with what the Eagles have done in looking at the college game. They were in love with Lincoln Riley at one point, Graham Harrell from USC, who's kind of had a fall from grace since. But either way, it's very consistent with what they do. But it's pretty clear now, and I didn't believe this way before, but I do now, that Nick Sirianni cannot hire an offensive play caller who has not called plays in the NFL before, because Nick Sirianni is not the guy who can help that guy out, as Nick basically self-owned himself in the conference, saying, at the end of the year, I was more involved in the offense. That was kind of not encouraging. Like a guy like Andy Reid or other really good play-calling head coaches who don't call plays can at least say, you're struggling, I can help you out, I'll call plays, take a little backseat, learn from me. But Nick's not that guy. So if this team is going to be built to win every year, and under Howie, he says that we want to build to win, but also transition our roster while we're still trying to win it all, then you've got to have a guy who can't be handheld.
Yeah, Jeff, this is a shorter segment, so give me a shorter answer on this. Mike McDaniel and everything that he does schematically and how he likes to run his offense, does that not fit with what Jalen Hurts is? And would you have reservations about hiring McDaniel?
Reservations based on fit, yes, but I mean, I never limit a player's ability to adapt or a coach's ability to adapt. But the one thing I would say is that would represent the sort of like, we're going to do a total gutting of the operation, bring in a lot of new concepts and things that we haven't done, using fullbacks, right? Or Mike McDaniel adapts more to what the Eagles do. But why would you hire Mike McDaniel if you're not getting the full Mike McDaniel, if you're just having him come in here and adapt himself to the way the Eagles do it? I don't know that that's the best choice for Mike McDaniel or for the Eagles.
Yeah, be interesting to see what they do. Jeff, we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks for getting in here and appreciate your insights.
Yeah, appreciate you guys being flexible. Thanks.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you. Jeff Mosher, who, of course, Philly voice inside the Birds. Check out everything he does. Amazing. I like the comparison about the total renovation, or you're just putting in new cabinets and you're doing the appliances.
If we had more time, I was going to ask if he had his kitchen redone. Because it did sound like a guy that's gone through the process.
I have recently.
Yeah.
Well, last couple of years.
Talking about the island, modernize it. Using the word modernize is a solid tell for a guy that's had his kitchen redone.
I guess I got Mike McDaniel. We didn't I think Mike McDaniel is if you blow out the wall and you make it even bigger.
Yeah.
Which we didn't do. But I guess I got Dayball.
Yeah, I think my parents also went with the Dayball recently as well.
All right, coming up. Your phone calls. Listen, we'll get your phone calls coming up, and also the YouTube chat recaps coming up next. Middays with Marks.
Kincade and Salciunas.
All right, we're back. Middays with Marks, with Ray, Reggae Tuesday.
I spent my break there just rolling through the comments of the signed JT graphic on Instagram from the Phillies.
Oh, when they put BCIB?
They put
It said
BCIB's back. I
best
didn't even read
catcher in
their
baseball.
comments. Yeah.
Yep, I saw it, and I kind of cringed.
Yep. Can't wait for our first round exit. Happy's back. Not happy about literally anything else the past couple of weeks. This team is so cooked, but cool, I guess. Hell yeah. Let's run it back. 4 years in a row, the same squad. Hell yeah. Why are we celebrating like this is a good thing?
Wow.
Those 12 home runs, 51 RBI, and 242 batting average is going to be huge this year.
Wow. Do they see that? Do the Phillies know this? Or because I know Dombrowski probably doesn't know it. Nor does he care.
No, he doesn't care.
Right? He doesn't care.
No.
But do they realize that if they didn't pivot to Bo Bichette, that it's not the same reaction?
Yeah, if this happens in December, this team's going to be really good in 2019. That was my favorite of the comments. That was my favorite of the comments.
Yeah, by the way, there's a catcher that hit 50-some home runs last year. Just saying.
No, they actually can be good at offense. It's not against the rules. You can have a solid offensive catcher, which he was for a very long time.
Listen, he's a good catcher. He's a good catcher. One of JT's comments was that that baseball undervalues catchers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not the Phillies' fault.
Right.
That's the market.
Correct.
The Phillies are dumb for giving you the money you wanted.
Yes. I think the radio business undervalues producers, actually. So I'm going to hold out.
too.
I'm going to hold out for a bigger deal.
Me too.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? That's the going rate for what you do. Everyone thinks they're worth more than what they get paid, but we get paid.
But it was this whole $20 million thing that he wanted.
Yeah.
So he got the incentives to where he could be $20 million, but he got the Phillies to up the offer a couple $1 million. I just can't believe they were willing to go 3 years on him.
Yeah. Who was going to go 3 years on him?
Yep.
Like, was he really, because he said he wanted to be back, was he really going to get 3 years somewhere else where he was going to get more money and be happy? If you had given him 2 for 30, was he going to get that elsewhere with the incentives built in?
No.
And his whole value to me is the fact that you were going to get Wheeler to the end of his career with JT. That was the only thing I could accept. Wheeler's only got 2 more years.
It is pretty sad that the reaction to JT, who's been a very good Philly,
right?
That they've created this. JT created this by not signing, and the Phillies have created this by going back to Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
And that's not my fault.
No.
That's not the fans' fault.
Remember when they were giving out T-shirts signed JT back in the day?
Oh, those were great days.
Yeah, those signed JT. Nobody's getting a signed JT. I don't think they're dropping off the promotional package for us in the next 2 days of saying, hey, look, aren't you guys fired up? We got the catcher back.
I wouldn't expect that
no.
with us, no. Let's go to Mad Mike. Mad Mike's very happy about the JT re-signing. Hi, Mad Mike.
Hey, I just got my JT Realmuto jersey in the mail.
Yeah? Is it a
Yeah,
schmedium?
it came from yeah. But I like that we're back to chaos in Philly sports. Like it was too happy, and we needed to be brought down a peg or two. The Phillies are back to being the Phillies, making dumb decisions and wasting money. And Jalen Hurts is exposed as the fraud QB that can't play as he is, and all the reports are coming out. The Jeff McClain gotcha reports are coming out. Love those. They're my favorite. It just feels like we're getting back to what we should be here.
Chaos. You're right. I know it makes you very happy, Mad Mike.
Well, you know what makes me happy because I'm tired of hearing all the Delaware Valley mouth breathers and hoagie eaters like, oh yeah, we're going on a dynasty. No, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear surly people angry and annoyed.
You don't want to be happy.
Because nature is healing.
Because people love sports and they go to sports because it makes them happy. It takes them away from everyday life. We have a passion for sports. And what's better than when your teams win? That's what we all love, except for Mad Mike.
Right.
He prefers chaos and losing.
Yeah. That's
great way to live.
Well, great way to end my day here today.
On a Reggae Tuesday.
Really going to go home. That drive home from work is going to feel really encouraging.
All right, let's go to the YouTube chat recap. Bang.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
All right, we got the first one.
Hey, John, who is on your NHL trade deadline board that you think the Flyers should target? Excluding Quinn Hughes, obviously. Nate from the AP desk.
Well, I mean, you took the name that I was going to say.
Obviously.
Yeah. When is the trade deadline?
Coming up.
So you don't know either? No. Is it soon?
We got the Olympic break soon.
It can't be that soon. The NBA All-Star Game's coming up, so it can't be that soon.
March 6th.
March 6th. Oh, I mean,
oh my gosh.
You want a trade deadline? I don't come up with my list till at least February normally.
Yeah, well, I guess with the Olympic freeze coming up, maybe you want to get something done before that. Obviously.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll work on some puck.
I'll make a couple calls and text messages to see what the GMs around the NHL, because you know that I have a lot of relationships.
Oh, I know.
With the NHL people. All right. What's next?
Ray, I have a new drinking game for you. Every time Dave Dombrowski says, "We have a good club," you take a shot. It will be a wild Saturday night. This also paves the way for Patricia to be the everyday producer, which is what the people want. Silvana, from Unfiltered.
We have a good club.
Wow.
I love that AI voice.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Before they took my job away from me, I was really enjoying the AI voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a shame.
Yeah. That was kind of messed up.
Just make sure we have the new "It's a Good Club" on the board for tomorrow. All right?
Yeah. Silvana's got some nerve. Really?
But you know that she'll come down and say she didn't say it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't say that.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't do anything.
Not sparking rumors, but apparently people are using others' names. But
really?
But again, I'm not a snitch because I don't want this to happen to me.
Okay, you know what happens to snitches.
I know.
Ricky Bo gets mad at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
You're
by
the
way,
scum of the earth.
We're doing News at Noon with Patricia doing the News at Noon. Ricky comes in like he's coming out of the bullpen to go to close the game. Yep. And I look up, and she's not talking. We're going back and forth about something. And I look in, and he's asking for the log.
I couldn't see, Ray. I was kind of hoping you guys didn't say, "Hey, what's next?" Because I don't think Ricky knew it was the News at Noon.
But it's just that we need a lock on that door so no one can go in.
It was
no
pretty
respect.
funny.
There's no respect. For the Middays producer, there's no respect. Mornings, I wouldn't dream of it. Afternoons, no shot.
Oh, my God, on TV? Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh, I'll be arrested next time I get to NBC.
You would be in
I'd be
handcuffs.
taken out in cuffs.
You'd be in handcuffs. All right, what's next?
Yeah, I was just hoping he didn't say anything. All right, next thing.
John, you're wrong. You have to loosen the nuts before jacking. Pause. Stanky from the YouTube chat.
Is that right?
Talking about changing a tire.
Yeah, what are we talking about here?
Changing a tire.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that you have to loosen the nuts first before you jack. All right, what's next?
Well,
The first qualification of being a radio host is to have your father-in-law do everything for you. Isn't that right, Bill? Ray from Middays.
I didn't put that in there, but I agree. You know
is
this.
Bill incapable too?
Yes. Bill's father-in-law does everything for him.
So what is it about guys on the radio that can't do anything for themselves? As far as fixing things, Bill is now looking in the window.
I mean, he can't deny it. He could be upset that it's been brought up again, but he can't deny it.
I fixed my toilet. It needed a new flapper. And it was a relatively easy fix. Yeah. But I actually took the time. I YouTubed it. I bought the part. I went to the hardware store. I bought the part. I installed it. Boom. And I fixed it. I was so proud of myself for doing it just because I did the effort and I took the time to do it. That's about my limit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the last time I
the
did
wall
something
once.
impressive.
You fixed what?
My wall in college because I ripped it off. I had those command strips. I went out and got the paint. I found the store that sells the paint for the apartment and fixed it and had to scalp it or whatever it is and all that. Because I didn't want to get charged. They were going to charge me like $100.
Bill, are you pathetic?
You fixed your flapper. I was so proud of myself. I fixed the flapper in our toilet. I called my mother-in-law and father-in-law to brag about it. My mother-in-law goes, "Seriously? I could do that." So we have nothing to brag about.
No, my wife was actually like, she was impressed that I took it upon myself because normally I would just be like, "You fix it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing."
Yeah, so we did it. We could fix flappers.
I can do a lot of things.
With YouTube, you can do anything, in my opinion. Anything's possible if there's a video telling me step by step how to do it.
No, because I was trying to start my lawnmower. And I couldn't get it started, and it wanted me to take out the carburetor. Believe me, I watched videos. It wanted me to take out the carburetor and everything else. No shot.
It takes time, you're right. But it is theoretically possible.
Yeah, theoretically with somebody else, it's theoretically able to do it. All right, give me more.
All right, last one.
John already dresses like he works from home. Imagine what he would look like if he actually did. Marv from the YouTube chat.
By the way, Ray looks like he dresses from his bed. I dress like I'm working from. Do I look like I'm dressed like I'm dressed like I work from home?
They take a shot at you and you decide, you know what? Let me throw something at Ray.
Well, but why didn't they say that about you?
I don't know. Maybe it's something about your fashion.
Okay, there's obviously nothing wrong with my fashion. Okay.
No, yeah, go look at the camo fit from Friday.
There's that. No, I mean, I'm just telling you. Not only did I pull that off, I pulled that off.
Oh yeah.
All right. Is this dressing from home?
Yeah, Philly's got a good club and you got a good sense.
All right, good job, Trish. Coming up next, we have Bill Colarulo.
No, that was good. That was good.
But it's spelled Cola.
Bill Colarulo.
Unfiltered. Ricky Battalico, Bill Colarulo. That's coming up next. We're back tomorrow. Everybody have a good one. See you.